Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Think of all that time. Every wait in the winter. Think of all that time. Those hours no one else every sprint in the summer. Every wait in the winter. Every sacrifice. Early mornings on the levee. Late nights in the film room. Bus rides to playoff games. Every bump in the road. Every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering, is it all worth it? It's all led to this. Man, I got this. It's a 60-minute drive for a 60-minute game. After all the miles we've traveled, we're almost there. After all the hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time.
Seems like no nonsense guy. Like he's
re-emphasize that for the Saints fans out there on TikTok. Caveman, what did you just say?
The rebuild starts right now. Marshawn Lattimore's gone, so the defense, like we're not getting any better.
Looking to get into Smith. What a pass! Not game! Dorial Smith with the game winner! Oh my goodness!
And that is why you have Aaron Fry pass the ball in. A career year. And like you have you have the best quarterback in the league, arguably, the best wide receiver in the league, and you've got the best edge rusher in terms of total sacks this season. And you're 4-7, and your playoff chances are hanging on by a thread.
As true as day is night, my friend. Death, taxes, and the Chicago Bears losing to the Green Bay Packers. It's what it is. It's what it's always going to be.
Let's make it interesting.
We're making it interesting. Come on. Give us the freaking moment. We'll take it.
Oh, no!
Oh, no.
Put him in there.
Biz knocked me off, though.
Who the heck is that guy?
Deflected good, help defense from the Warriors. Oh, what a pass! And Kuminga throws it down! This could be the pass of the year so far. You might watch every game the rest of the season in the NBA.
Mr. Announcer guy. So don't you go saying that you're never going to see that.
You're such a hater.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
You are looking live at Military Broadcast Radio till the final
Morning.
whistle. I'm your boy Jimmy Covers. To my left is Kevin. To my right is Mercury HG.
So,
It's the final show of 2024. The final show of 2024.
No. Oh, it is. Yeah.
It's
New Year's.
Wednesdays.
Wednesday's
the
New Year's.
first.
That's right. It's dude, what a long, strange
This
trip
year
it's been.
flew by.
Flew by, dude.
It really did. So I was in school for half the year.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Well, for 10 days. I graduated January 11th.
Is that when you graduated?
Yeah.
Yeah. Word.
Almost a year since I graduated from the old media school.
Nice, dude. Congratulations, man. Yeah.
Congratulations
Did you?
to
Yeah.
you and Mercury
congratulations to
too.
Mercury too.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Congratulations
We're all
all of us.
alumni over here.
We
We're
did it,
right.
CMS alumni.
Yeah, we're ripping
right.
it up.
And all our
boys,
teams lost this weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty rough weekend for the boys.
Caveman's a Saints fan. I'm a lowly Packers fan who has nothing to live for except for the playoffs again, where we win a game and then we'll lose the next one. Broncos wildcard team, man. I mean, they lost this weekend. They can clinch against the Kansas City Chiefs, which brings up an
I guess
interesting game
My
last week of the season.
my only solace is that at least we're like way ahead of schedule.
Way
I
ahead
think
of
so,
schedule.
man.
Yeah,
Playing good football.
Playing some decent football.
We
Probably definitely a year ahead of where
that-
it should be.
that's what I had to think of when we lost on Saturday because man,
Bigger picture.
I was pissed,
Yeah.
and then I watched CU just put up a stinker in the bowl game, and so like I was
That was horrible.
I
I'm glad
was
didn't bet on that
furious.
team. I'm glad I did.
I was
stay
real
away.
upset on Saturday.
That
I
was
had to
bad.
I had to do some like reflecting and be like, all right, we gotta like,
Yeah.
with CU.
You
Hey
got to be
man,
your
like,
own therapist when
two-
all your football teams.
2
are
years
losing.
ago they were 1-11. You know this
Right.
this year
You had to
made a
Nathaniel
bowl
Hackett.
game, a pretty good one as well. And then the Broncos.
Yeah.
Nobody thought we'd be here. Nobody thought
right.
we'd be here.
I think
It's
some
like
of
the
the
Chiefs
I
will
think
be-
some of the guys who actually could foresight football a little bit, I think they thought the Broncos would be a borderline. I thought the Broncos would be a borderline.
I mean,
wildcard team just because of how weak I think the AFC sort of is this year.
I thought we could have a winning record for sure. I didn't know if like we'd be a playoff team. So just this is pretty awesome that we're just like in the playoffs. I just thought there'd be, while the AFC was a lot worse this year, I thought there were just like the top teams were going to be, I thought there would be teams like the Bengals and Dolphins also kind of in our way.
Oh yeah.
And then they had bad starts to the season. They kind of opened the door for us.
Once it started to play out, I was like, yeah, the Colts.
Yeah.
Colts ain't it. That's not a playoff
Right.
team.
I just thought it was going to be tough for us.
I was kind of down on the Dolphins losing Wilkinson,
yeah.
all those injuries that they've battled. They've lost a few guys on defense to free agency.
Yeah.
I was kind of down on the Dolphins coming into this year.
Where I thought it'd be tough for us to make the playoffs is that we're going to have both the Chiefs and the Chargers in our division,
Oh yeah.
and it was like
And then
those guys. There's
That's-
good chance both of those teams make the
Make it.
playoffs, and it's rare you see 3 teams from one division.
it's new
make it,
playoff seeding, though,
but,
man. It
I mean,
makes
now
it-
we're going to probably see it on both sides of the ball more
Exactly.
than likely.
Yeah, that'll be. That's
There's already
honestly
3
gonna be
teams
cool.
clinched in the NFC North.
Yeah.
The Packers,
So,
Lions, and
Yeah, the
Vikings.
North already is going to have 3 people in it. We
Yeah.
just got to beat the Chiefs backup, so
Yep.
then we're in it as well.
Which is going to raise questions like, hey, what does KC do next week? Do they want to play the Broncos straight up?
I don't think
Or-
anybody wants the Bengals in the playoffs.
That's
so
what
No
I mean,
way.
man.
they're getting hot at the right time, and
KC
I think
already
it might
had a
just
rock
be
fight with them earlier on in
Yeah.
the year, which was a hot show after that because Bengals really kind of got screwed.
they
Those
did.
are
No,
screw
they
jobs.
should've
They
won
got
that.
they got
That
screwed.
PI. Those late
got-
PIs.
We made
Dude,
some great content for that game, but
I've watched that exact same PI call happen at least a dozen
at
times.
least it does. That's what I mean. I'm like, it doesn't
Like-
even make sense to me, dude.
The whole
It
year.
really doesn't.
The whole
Like
freaking
I
year.
saw what the most recent example I saw it happen yesterday in the Packers Vikings game where it was a Packers safety comes through Jordan Addison who's trying to go up for a ball that Sam Darnold overthrew.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, that's a bad throw on the quarterback. Let's just,
Yeah.
The
Tag
safety's got a right to the ball, but they didn't call it, rightfully so.
Well, the Nixon one they called.
I don't think it was Nixon. It was like Addison just went straight up. The safety, he kind of like jumped up and he was just behind Addison, and they like bumped into each other, so he kind of knocked Addison down.
Because they flagged us like 9 times for like about 105 yards that game.
Yeah.
So
Oh geez.
every other drive there was a Packers flag on defense. So it was 90% of their offense in the first half.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I've just seen that call not get called
Yeah, just
so
not
many
get
times
so
this year,
many
but man,
times.
against the
Yes.
freaking Bengals,
The Bengals
keep the
couldn't-
Chiefs,
couldn't wait.
keep going. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
couldn't wait.
ridiculous.
Those
going-
front running teams, man, it's kind of
Yeah.
it's difficult.
Going back to the Broncos game,
9-7 Broncos.
man, we were hanging in there for so long, but this is just
It was one of the best games of the year.
Where-
honestly,
where we're like a young team and we're, you know, we still have some things to work out. Our third down efficiency, horrible. The running game kind of comes and goes in spurts. It's not very consistent.
Yeah.
Like we have the ability, like a couple of really good drives we had where we just ran it like 7 times and just
McLaughlin had a couple good drives in that second.
yeah,
half
we would
running the
just
ball.
gash him for like 6-7 yards a pop, and you know, but then the next drive it's like we try to run it twice, gain 2 yards, and then we're like 3rd and 8. Real inconsistent running game. Bo Nix, but good game from him though, honestly. Wasn't just taking a lot of checkdowns, threw the ball down the field, had 2 long touchdowns to Marvin Mims, including a gutsy throw, man, on 4th and 1. You just need a yard, and he went for the end zone.
Oh, the one to Sutton?
No. That was the one to Mims to tie it
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That one was
on
insane.
4th and 1.
Double
What
coverage.
a ball by
Freaking
Bo Nix, the
snag in the
nutsack
end
to
zone.
throw that too.
Exactly.
So-
It's a
Good on
Sean
that
Payton
guy.
player right there.
I know we
man.
got a top play. We got a lot of top
That's
plays.
some
for you
top
coming
plays
up.
there, but yeah.
It's a Sean Payton
That's
player,
one of those
man.
things where I'm like, you know, I like to see that because it shows a lot of confidence in himself and a lot of gutsiness
Yeah,
and
shout
just
out Thomas. Thanks for the comment, brother. Sorry to cut you off, Mercury.
oh, yeah, you're good.
Chiefs
That's
playing
our,
backups too. No one thought we would be where we are. I agree, Thomas. I think we just kind of touched
Exactly.
on that. Kind of year ahead of where the Broncos should
well,
be,
a lot of
honestly.
people called Bo Nix like one of the worst picks of the draft too.
I saw
And
that.
they said it's like they're like, okay, the Broncos reach, you know, Bo Nix is not a 1st round type draft pick quarterback. And I want like I think back to a point Brandon Pern, a fellow Broncos fan, made from That's Good Sports. He's saying that I mean you can use like draft ADP to determine the player's value and when you should take him, but sometimes you just need to take the guy for the position you need.
Yeah, literally. And it's not like he was a Heisman finalist, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Like he's still got a pretty solid quarterback. Played a lot of college football.
Yeah,
so.
a lot of people, for whatever reason, they didn't like that he was in college for so long, or that he really thrived on like the short passing game, which I'm like, I mean that's the type of offense Sean Payton likes, where it's like a lot of quick passes, a lot of quick hitters, and then like, oh boom, we're gonna take shots on you. And he's progressed, and we've seen him be able to throw some nukes down the field. Really accurate player. So ahead of schedule, definitely. But man, if I'm the AFC, I'm just hoping the Broncos beat the Chiefs next week because I do not want Joe Burrow coming into the playoffs. The guy got sacked 7 times, didn't break his resolve at all. His run game was really non-existent. I mean, top rusher Chase Brown had 67 yards.
Yeah, that was not a help for me in
Yeah.
fantasy.
Burrow he accounted for 25 of them in his own, but this man threw for 412 passing yards and 3 touchdowns against one of the best defenses in the
39
league.
of 49 too. Oh my god, dude.
That's crazy.
And he got sacked 7 times.
Yeah, and he got
Holy
T.
crap.
Higgins and Jamar Chase, they
pretty
combined
much
to
no running game either.
yeah, they combined for 233 yards. T. Higgins catches all 3 of Burrow's touchdowns. Mike Gesicki caught 10 balls as well for 86 yards. Look, I want to see my Broncos in the playoffs, but I'm also like, man, I kind of want Kansas City to get in there. And I feel like they'd be the team that go on a run. If I'm Buffalo, I definitely would not want to see Joe Burrow and the Bengals
that's
coming
your
in
first
there.
round play. That's your
He's finna-
first
And if I'm the Chiefs, I don't want to come off a bye and
I
have to
don't
play
want
the
that.
Bengals.
Heck
Hell
no.
no.
off of a win against the
Heck no.
Bills.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Because the
Def-
Bills are the 2 seed. We
Man.
pretty much got the NFC locked up and also the AFC really.
For the
Coming down
most
to
part,
that
besides
last
that
game of the
last
season.
seed.
And like, here's the thing: is like the Broncos could still lose, and then the Bengals could still not get in because the Dolphins technically have a tiebreaker over them
Oh, really?
to put. Yeah, so the Bengals need us and the Dolphins to both lose.
Oh man, I'm gonna look that up. Hold on.
Dolphins got the Jets to end the year, so
Oh, snap.
Well, that's an easy win.
yeah.
What are we
I mean, unless
talking about?
Tyrod Taylor
Oh,
plays,
Man. I hope
Bengals are
Tyrod
out.
Taylor plays.
yeah, I don't think the
Bengals are
Bengals are
out.
going to make it.
No.
And
They'll
at
shut
that point, I'm
themselves
like,
in
well,
the
then the Broncos should win because we've got a lot less to. Like we've got nothing to lose if we
Nothing
make
to
it.
lose, yeah.
Like it's just it's a
throw
team
the
playing
kitchen sink at
with
Bills,
house
man.
money. Do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
Like nobody
Hope and pray
nobody
for
even
carnage.
had you here.
Here, right?
Like
Yeah.
you're not supposed to be in the postseason.
Like
The
Packers,
Bills, they're supposed to be playing for a Super Bowl.
right.
So they've got everything to lose.
Everything
You
to
got
lose.
nothing to lose, man.
They
Like,
haven't gone really on a run yet.
I mean, they're starting to kind of look a little worse. I mean, I know they
I've never
blew
really
the
been,
Jets out, but
see, there's good teams with good records, and then I think the most dangerous playoff team right now in the AFC, outside of Kansas City, they're the 2-time champion. Outside of the Bengals, dude, a team that's going to be dangerous with nothing to lose and that has the team that can travel. Nobody's talking about them because they've lost some big games, and I know they have Russell Wilson and he has some limitations. Dude, the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think that can be a super dangerous team in the playoffs. They can just run the ball, play that clock control. They can blitz you. They can play some defense. I know it looks rough on paper, but sometimes the playoffs play out different.
It's looked rough the past few games. I mean, there's 3-game stretch where they went on. They played the Eagles. They played the Ravens.
Yeah.
They played the Chiefs.
All 3 good teams.
And they weren't really, it didn't really feel like they were competitive in any of those games, which that's what concerns me with the Steelers.
Now, but that's my thing. Like,
And-
now they have really nothing to lose
I
because they
know.
already lost to them. So nobody's going to be picked. They're going to be double-digit underdogs, and they're going to host a home
I don't know,
playoff game, I think.
Jimmy, with the Steelers though, like they kind of do this thing every year where it's like they're really good. Like the first few months of the season, they get like a bunch of wins. They're in playoff contention, and then the wheels start to fall off.
Have they had a quarterback who's won a Super Bowl?
No,
Since
they
they're not-
haven't.
So when you get a quarterback, it's a little different with how the money changes hands because he's not going to be making all these throws that he's had to been or forced to make in those games playing from behind. You're just not going to make those. You're not going to make those plays. That just won't even be called or scripted. How teams game plan is totally different. I just think it's I don't think they're gonna go make a run to the Super Bowl. It's just a dangerous team in the
They
AFC
definitely
that
could be dangerous.
nobody's talking.
I think
TJ Watt can ruin a game by himself.
Yeah, they've got the formula, right? I mean,
Minka
you've got an
Fitzpatrick
amazing
can get a pick.
defense with like one of the best game records in the game. And if you can like a
Tomlin's
good
dangerous
offensive
to me.
line, you can run the ball really well.
And they won't be out coached.
It's like the Vikings though, where it's just like and this
How much
is
do
more
you
so.
trust it?
This is more so recently with the Steelers, where it's like historically, like these past few seasons,
Yeah.
they always
And
look
you're not
so
wrong.
good at the start
You're
of the
not
year,
wrong.
and then like down the
just never
stretch,
had a
you're like, oh,
quarterback
this
like
team's
that.
a first round exit. They're gonna get crushed.
It's been the
by
same
whoever they
thing
play.
this year for sure because like they've been on a huge skid.
Although,
But
They
they
have.
played so many tough games too.
They've had the hardest schedule. in
Their
the league this
schedule
year.
is so difficult.
and I mean, I think they're gonna have to go on the road for pretty
They
much
are
every
gonna
game. I think they're losing the division because Baltimore.
I think Baltimore already has won it.
I don't know if they have to. I think Baltimore has to beat the Browns just to clinch it. The Steelers might have some tiebreaker scenarios in there that could help them.
I see what you're saying about the
Out.
Bills too, Jimmy. Rams and Lions games
Yeah,
allowed
yeah,
over
so-
40 points.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like to play good teams, but like in the playoffs, you gotta play a little bit
Like,
more
Bills have
defense.
no-
you can't
Bills have no.
you can't allow
yeah. That's
more than
going to be
30
their
points.
their
I mean, like,
Achilles heel.
Who would you take, Keon Coleman or George Pickens?
Oh, Pickens.
Pickens.
Okay,
He's
so
on
like
that.
you know what I mean? Like, all right, well, Steelers are clinched the 5th seed. Baltimore Ravens have clinched the playoffs. You guys are right that it's going to come down to next week to see who.
Right,
clinches
because
it.
if the Ravens do lose and the Steelers win, the Steelers do
Steelers,
technically have a
yeah.
better division record than
and
them.
they'll win the division.
Yeah.
Dang.
So they do need to beat the Browns.
You know what I mean? Like Houston Texans, do you believe in them? Not much. I mean, Baltimore. I think Baltimore is another one of those teams. Like Baltimore and
think-
the Steelers, man.
We're looking at like a
I don't know, dude.
Texans Steelers first round matchup, but that's like two teams that
They're
have been
very
sputtering
shaky. Oh yeah,
Right.
down the stretch here.
True that, bro.
Texans.
And it's like, all right,
very tough stretch.
And then so you're going to let the Steelers win a game?
exactly.
Now
Give
they're going
them
to go
some
in some
confidence.
momentum, and they're going to
Momentum.
play, say, Buffalo Bills win. They'll be the highest rated seed left in the playoffs, maybe. Yeah, now you're going to go play Buffalo. I don't see why the Steelers won't be able to match up against Buffalo and Buffalo. They
Yeah,
dang
they're
sure ain't
not-
going to play in no weather that they're not used to.
they're not worried about any of that.
They're going to run the ball better. I mean, who's the Bills running back?
James Cook.
I mean, who would you rather have?
I would rather have Najee Harris than James Cook.
Are you
Warren?
crazy? I would rather have James Cook. What are you guys talking about?
What about Warren?
Warren's okay, but no, I'd
He's
rather.
way
that
better
fact-
in this snow. He's
That's
a
what I
bigger
mean.
back and way faster.
They just have multiple guys. It's going to be a lot on James Cook
Give me
and
the
Josh
Steelers.
Allen.
Who the
No,
hell's calling me this time?
That's
We're not
crazy.
taking that.
yeah, we're not taking that. From
Yeah, we're
a
on.
scam
We're
call.
live on there. What the hell are we talking about?
It's dangerous, man.
You guys are
AFC is
sleeping
really
on James Cook. He's
I
got
like
more rushing
James Cook.
touchdowns than anybody in the league this year. 981 yards. The threat out of the backfield. I just think he's about like he can do what both Najee Harris and Jalen Warren do as just one guy. That's my thing. Because he's a great pass
He
catcher
feeds.
too.
He feeds off of because of Josh Allen. That's it.
Well,
Take
like,
away.
the-
Take away Josh Allen. He's a no. Who did he used to play for?
He was drafted
He
by
got
the
he
Bears.
drafted. by
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
I
drafted.
don't remember if it was just another one of those like
Nah,
retread
20.
running backs.
He was a round 2 pick in 2022 from Georgia.
Okay.
Keeping the Cook
Yeah,
the Cook name
family
alive. Yeah.
Dalvin Cook's brother. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Dalvin
yeah.
Cook's brother.
What a fall off the wagon that guy.
Yeah, I got just disappeared. That was kind of sad. Remember the Jets signed
He used
him.
to own the Green Bay Packers too, man. Way back in the day. I think he replaced Adrian Peterson, if I remember right, going back far to that.
Yes,
part of the
he
draft.
did. Yes, he did.
Played at Florida State, beat Notre Dame. It's okay.
Oh.
I forgive you. Played with Jameis Winston on those Florida State teams too.
He did. Yeah.
Um,
Well,
yeah,
we do
AFC
want-
is going to be wide open. NFC, it's pretty much
talking about the
All
sixth seed in the AFC. Good dominating
yeah.
win on the road to clinch their
the
playoff
Chargers,
spot against the Patriots.
one of the dumbest bets I made all
Yeah.
year was
Why-
taking the Patriots 7.5.
Yeah, why the hell did
Oh,
I?
yeah, they
I took the
got
Patriots
killed.
and the pick 'em.
I don't even know.
I've
what
just
I was
been.
thinking.
I have to get it together that week
I'm
18
with you,
because
man.
I'm just like I'm taking way too many upsets and I'm
We
playing
gotta
it
make
way
up-
too
you gotta-
aggressive.
You
yeah.
gotta make them up. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
who
now
cares?
I'm out of it.
I'm out of it.
I handed
Yeah.
it to Kyle. I
Yeah.
Kyle pretty much.
I gave it to like it's the guys that joined late too have passed me at this point. It's over, but
Yeah, I'm in
What are
rough
you gonna
shape
do?
also.
But-
I haven't really done all that well.
dude, this Herbert Ladd McConkey connection is really
That's the
starting to come
duo right
alive.
there,
yeah,
man.
I mean, man, I think we'd be talking about Ladd McConkey differently if his name was like Ladarius McLeod instead. So he is
That's
dude, he's
right.
he's a beast, man. Yeah, 8 catches, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's just all over the field. He's one of those guys that can just kind of like line up everywhere. That's where that's what the Bengals are doing against the Broncos to get him away from Surtain, and that's what the Chargers have been doing with McConkey to get him open. It's like, oh, we're gonna, you don't know where he's coming. Like, maybe he'll line up in the backfield, motion out. He's in the slot. He's out wide. Like guy can just run routes from wherever. And I think he's playing his best ball at the right time for the Chargers, which is good for them. Unfortunately for the Chargers, you're probably going to have to go into Baltimore.
Yeah.
And
They played him close first time.
yeah,
Played him close.
they
first
did.
time.
But like, I mean, it's just like when you're playing the Ravens, it's like a race to 40 points.
It really is. Dude.
Like, or to at least 30. I mean,
Yeah, you got to score 35 on
they
it.
were making a great
Oh,
point
yeah.
during the Christmas broadcast of like when you're playing defense or when you're playing offense, you're just thinking about how to beat the other team's defense. But when you play Baltimore, you also have to think about like how to beat their offense. You got to be given. I mean, you got to be like helping your defense out because they're probably going to get scored on. That team's just so explosive.
I still kind of like that's game. I want to see that one. That one has to turn out. I don't want the Chargers going to Pittsburgh for that first round game. I honestly want that. They're still the number 1 scoring defense,
Yeah.
the Chargers, right? So
So
I don't
I
know.
think
It's
they
like
are. Them and the Eagles, I believe, are tied. Yeah.
I got
kind of favorable. And for a few weeks, it was the number 1 scoring defense was you and the Chargers, or the Broncos
It
and
was.
Chargers tied up.
Yeah, the Broncos' defense in the month of December has been tough. It's not really been their best month of football on the defensive side of the ball, or the offensive side. Well, the offensive side's been a little bit better, but except on that Chargers game. But that was Jesse Minter. But he's a first-year defensive coordinator. Got to give him a lot of credit. Just what him and Harbaugh have been doing there this year. Because I mean, obviously you got Justin
They are
Herbert.
first. in scoring defense.
Yeah, you obviously got Justin Herbert there, but like I mean, J.K. Dobbins, he was really unproven just through all the injuries. Him and Gus Edwards have now become a really good running back tandem. Lad McConkey's kind of unlocking something. I mean, Quentin Johnston, he's still kind of been terrible with the drops, but he's looked like outright serviceable this year at least.
Yeah, it's either they got to find a way to get those dudes going in this offseason, or they
Yeah.
got to get Lad McConkey some freaking help.
I know, like McConkey's going to have to play like 2021 Cooper Cup, like how Cooper Cup did in
Yeah.
those playoffs. Like that's what they're the
I
type of
think
performance.
I think
they're
that's
gonna need.
another team that's a year ahead of where they should be.
Most
That
definitely.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they just got Harbaugh, but I mean, like you got to there was a lot of change over there with the Staley.
You lost a lot of
and
weapons on
Anthony
offense.
Lynn. Like he got basically absolutely. I know he acquired Herbert, and Derwin James kind of like an OG vet, but like outside of that, like I can't name one guy on that offensive line that matters. I mean, I know they got
Joe-
Bosa, but like
do you mean defensive line or offensive?
offensive line.
Joe Alt,
yeah,
Rashawn
rookie?
Slater.
You know what I mean? Rookie. I don't know.
Rashawn Slater's not a rookie.
I've
He's
seen-
his second year.
Well,
Those guys are good.
like
Yeah.
all.
He
You know
was
what I
like
mean?
all-
Like if you're
He was
relying on a
almost an
rookie,
All-Pro with a rookie though. I think as Rashawn Slater.
and Slater's been there a while. what is he-
Slater, no, he was a rookie either last year or 2 years ago.
Okay, so he's never done anything.
I don't know. He's been
Pretty
a,
young.
he's been a solid.
Yeah, so but I
No,
mean,
no,
like,
I like.
the only games that matter are the postseason games.
I
He's
think
never been over 500 in his career until now.
Yeah, I mean, he's made the Pro Bowl. I think he got all pro second team 1 year. He's
But-
been like he's gotten some recognition. Like as
Chargers D or Steelers D?
I mean,
Travel.
travel
Steelers.
probably the
You know,
Steelers.
Steelers or Baltimore.
I'm gonna take
Baltimore.
the Ravens,
The only
yeah.
thing
I'm
that I
going
would probably
Ravens.
take over the Chargers over all three of those teams is like, I mean, it's probably Lamar, then Herbert, and then Russell Wilson for quarterbacks. But like really everything else, like the Steelers, like there's really not much they don't stack up in that conference.
Yeah.
I know they've lost some big games, but like schedules get reset in the playoffs.
That's true.
Everybody's 0-0, and you got to prove it. I don't know. I think the AFC is going to be super interesting. I don't think
is.
the Chiefs are going to make the Super Bowl, dude.
I do really think it's going
I
to
think
come down.
somebody's
Shake
gonna
it
upset
up.
them.
I think it's really going to come down though between Baltimore, Buffalo, or Kansas City. I think ultimately
so,
it's going to
too.
be one of those
It's,
three
it,
teams.
it is because at the end of the day, it's still a quarterback league, and those
Those-
bigger games, it always falls on the quarterback.
Falls
And I
on
mean,
the
like,
quarterback.
right now-
always.
Right now, you got to think like, but outside of the Bengals, who probably won't make it, the three best quarterbacks in the playoffs are Mahomes, Allen, and Lamar
I agree totally.
at this point.
And then Herbert, I'd probably put that 3A because he's
Three-
dealing, man.
he is,
right.
solid.
He's right
playing
on the
solid.
cusp
I
of
just
being
don't
in
think
there.
he just doesn't have enough like
Weapons,
firepower offensively.
I'm with you. It's a lot of game managing and just trying to
Right.
matriculate the ball down the field.
He's right
They-
on the outside,
He needs-
looking in,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like right about to break through.
I don't think that
threshold.
I don't think that running game will travel in the playoffs, especially against those defenses.
Well, I
think
was
they're gonna
just
be on the
looking at
road.
it. Ravens Chargers last matchup when they played, they got 83 total rushing yards. The Ravens had 212.
Oh my gosh.
So
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
And like another thing too, like
Lamar
Chargers
can just
Chargers are going
gash,
on
yeah.
the road, right? So like they're gonna possibly be playing in some difficult weather.
Definitely.
Wind,
Yeah.
Maybe some snow, some
It's a
slop.
it's not
outside
LA.
of being a
It's
dome
not
team in
LA.
LA.
sunny old
You're
Santa
not in
Monica.
Kansas no more.
Yeah.
Ted. You know what I mean?
He might be in
Different ballgame.
Kansas. Well, no, that's
Different
technically
ballgame.
Missouri.
It's
Actually,
Missouri,
never
yeah.
mind.
And they get
Close
snow.
enough.
Yeah.
Close enough.
It's gonna be
Same
interesting,
thing.
man. The Chiefs are gonna have a gauntlet, dude.
Yeah, they don't have they haven't had an easy game all season.
I think it's gonna be the Ravens or Bills representing the AFC in the Super Bowl, guys.
I really hope
I
you're
hope
right.
it is.
I really hope you're
I
right.
think so, man.
I do. I look at like how those teams have played all year, and I'm like, absolutely. I think the Ravens or the Bills could beat the Chiefs, but the voodoo dark magic and it's at Arrowhead. The
I would love to say you're wrong, but you're not wrong. 'Cause
yeah,
it's true.
I mean,
it's
we've
just what it
seen
keeps
it.
happening.
like
17 weeks in.
I don't know, like Mahomes and the refs were doing like Mahomes and the refs were doing gifts exchanges on Christmas, because they're colleagues that have been working together so well all year,
It's messed up, man.
I love every time an official gets hurt and they're like a meme page will just post like huge lot injury for the Chiefs here.
Yeah,
Let's see how
yeah.
this affects them. Yeah, like I want you to be right, so but I would love to see Lamar or Josh Allen get to play in the Super Bowl. I'm done, but there's something about Kansas City, man. They always find a way to get there, whether you you think it's fishy or not, they find a way to be in the Super Bowl. They're going to be hosting their like 7th AFC championship. There's a chance they're hosting their like 7th AFC championship in like the Mahomes era. Just ridiculous.
Yeah, dude.
Just absurd, man.
That's what we have to call it
The
now too.
NFL has
the
always been a
Mahomes era.
front runner league. National front runner league is. I've heard that quite a few times.
That's
If you're a front runner, dude, it's like the NFL because you make the money. You know what I mean? There's a profit. There's a cost of debt overhead margin that needs to be overcome there in the NFL.
Exactly. And I mean, you got all the
It is
Swiftie
what it is.
fans too. Huh?
I remember when the Steelers used to be
With
a front
Kansas
runner,
City.
dude. The big fucking bully on the block during those Brady Manning era years was Ben Roethlisberger and that defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh yeah.
And they used to get.
They won't.
I've watched them only be able to move the ball down the field sometimes because of that extending the play with Ben Roethlisberger, and he was so good at like when guys were coming to wrap him up, him just ducking his head where the hand was going to be, and just getting. Dude, I watched this guy get 7 face mask calls in a row in a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
Look up that 08-09, the year that they beat the Arizona Cardinals in the Super Bowl. That division matchup, whoever they played, I think it was either the Colts or it could have been the Titans. Dude, they got 7 penalties in a row
Oh, dude, Ben
to
was
go
a
down the field
master.
and score a touchdown when they only scored 1 touchdown the whole game and kicked field goals.
And then they got Le'Veon Bell, who was pretty much like
AB
that
was
guy.
a rookie in 2010 when they
Antonio
lost the
Brown.
Super Bowl against the Packers.
Yeah.
That guy
Hey.
was a freak athlete. That was
Yeah.
the one guy I was like, I'm worried. But when they kept playing Hines Ward over him, I said, thank you very much. Because that's not going to beat us.
Nope.
The
Yeah.
Steelers were a huge front running team for a long time, dude.
Oh,
They didn't realize what they
Long
had
time.
there with AB.
They kind of let that off the leash a little bit, dude. That's
Yeah.
I think that if you could pull Mike Tomlin, give him some truth serum, I think he probably would like to have that one back. Because that guy was a freak, dude.
Oh yeah.
Inside, outside, like Debo Samuel with wide receiver talent.
Who
know
could
what
run-
I
No,
mean?
he could run routes.
Run,
exactly.
right, you know what I
Single
mean? Like
route,
line him
pretty
up in
much.
the backfield, kick returner. I mean, this guy front kicked a punter in the face.
Yep.
Live in a game.
He was so much fun to watch until they went insane.
Feel bad for him, man.
Yeah.
Did you see that he had his CTE
Oh,
SPs on his Twitter
Yeah,
thing?
the Cracker of the Year
Dude.
awards.
Elite. I wasn't
That's
gonna say it, but
Insane.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's
dude,
Antonio.
shout out Antonio Brown for doing that, dude.
I mean, it's just at this point, it's just kind of funny because he's not real. Like he's just. You can just sit back and like just be like, all right, well, that's just Antonio Brown being Antonio Brown. You know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I saw it. Like this is hilarious, dude. This
Dude,
is
like
awesome.
Joe Biden got Cracker of the Year.
I
wanna
think
know-
Donald Trump won Cracker of the Year.
I don't. It,
One of
whoever
them,
it was,
somebody
there
won.
were like multiple categories.
Yeah,
It was-
like
There's a lot
different-
of awards.
Yeah.
A lot
I've
of
just
people
seen
won.
clips of it. I didn't watch the whole show. But
Like every award was Cracker of the Year for a certain category of
Yeah.
crack.
Yep.
Elite, dude.
It
You
was
got it. You got it,
hilarious.
Antonio. Antonio Brown, if you want to call into the show, 720-619-0627.
Yeah, call in, man.
I just want to hear. I
us
just want to
your
let you
award.
talk, man.
If there's
Yeah.
one player, past or present, that I would love to smoke a blunt with, like him and Percy Harvin are like the two guys. all
Dude,
time.
That's an amazing pick. right
Percy
there.
Harvin was my man at Florida Gators with Tim Tebow. Huge
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Stoner Hall of Famer.
Man.
No,
Percy
told the
Harvin.
press at Florida in Gainesville, I smoke weed before every game.
And he still would just go out there and ball.
Go out
and
there,
cook.
and they're still drug testing the guy. No big deal. Gonna fail. Still played.
That's
That's
fine.
how much pull Urban Meyer had. You know what I mean?
Man, Florida Gate. I would.
was
We need to
sharing
get
with them.
an honest to God documentary about them, not this.
Yeah,
Tim
not
Tebow.
Yeah, not that
Oh,
beef
that
crap.
that was garbage.
Not that bull crap.
That was garbage, dude.
All right. Well, we've been talking a lot of AFC playoff picture. Why don't we slide over to the NFC? Talk about some
The freaking
some of the
worst.
playoff matchups that we're going to see there. Jimmy, let's jump into this
Yeah.
Packers game a
Yeah,
little
dude.
bit. Give you a chance to rant
There-
about what happened in Green Bay.
Dude,
I gotta get man.
Yeah, let's hear. it.
LaFleur
Sam
just got
Darnold.
out.
He did.
LaFleur just got out coached.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was.
LaFleur got out coached. He coached, like, I even said it, like, I've been saying it for like the last, even going back to like a little bit of last year. He gets so cute and like over his own body with like, he coaches like a Republican, way too conservative. It's either just like these basic handoffs that the front seven can read out, You're not doing anything special. We're not utilizing Jordan Love's legs. There's an unaccounted for man in this. Brian Flores, up until now, all of a sudden is now considered a good defensive coordinator, when up until now, he's never been considered a good defensive coordinator because everywhere he's gone, they've sucked and he's gotten fired, including the Miami Dolphins. Whereas defense with all these players that the current Minnesota Vikings have, multiple players from that Miami Dolphins team, and they suck then. Why they're good now? The quarterback is not utilizing their legs to extend plays because there's an unaccounted for man in that defense every time. Been the model for the last decade in the NFL. We don't utilize it. We just run these basic, boring, bland plays. Too much, too late. We throw ourselves back in the game. You just can't get behind in games by 17 points. You can't shoot yourself in the foot with dumb plays. Too many 3-and-out drives when Minnesota was just going down the field on your defense. You have to play more aggressive. If you know your defense can't stop a nosebleed, why are you punting on 4th and 2 from the 50-yard line? You got to go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going
Might as
for
well
it
give 'em
from the
that.
35. Points are a premium, right?
Yeah.
We went for it on 4th down twice and didn't get it inside the 40-yard line when we could have kicked field goals. That's 6 points. McManus has been money inside of 40 yards, okay, or inside of 50 yards. We lose by 2. We don't kick 2 field goals. That's 6 points. I don't know. Like there's like
Crazy idea.
And then Kevin O'Connell, he's super smart with how he forms his offense around our defense. They just kind of play clock control the entire second half of the game. We had the ball in the red zone 3 times to start the game, and we don't score 1 touchdown. Josh Jacobs fumbles on the opening drive when we're just marching down the field on them. He had 69 yards rushing. I think 30 yards that he had in that game came in the first quarter. And then after that, I think he handed the ball off 5 times total. We're not utilizing Jaden Reed in the passing game. We lead the league in drops. Unheard of in Green Bay, which is a fundamental team. The only one who can catch the ball, no Watson, no Jair. We had a lot of injuries, but that's not an excuse. When you're a team that's playing a lot of players, and the Packers are playing a lot of play. Keyshawn Nixon is playing outside DB on Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. He's our punt returner.
Yeah, he's a kickoff.
He's a
man.
kickoff guy, right?
Return
So like a lot of
specialist.
guys are playing out of position. Bullard is not. We drafted him in the 2nd round this year. Javon Bullard, national championship guy from Georgia. He's not ready for the NFL. He's playing back there, deep third safety. He can't cover water if he fell out of a freaking boat, dude. We put him in the slot. He gets cooked up by Hawkinson. He's just lost in space out there. We have too many guys playing out of position defensively. I will say the one shining bright spot, I don't know what Rashawn. We have too many guys on defense that do absolutely nothing for us. Eric Stokes, Rashawn Gary. Where did that guy go?
Put him on the milk carton.
I mean,
missing
put him
person.
on a.
Missing
You're not
persons
wrong, dude.
report.
And I'm a Packers fan. I wish I could call you a liar. You're not a liar. Buddy, I haven't seen him playing a good. He hasn't had a sack in like 5 weeks.
I almost forgot he was on your team because I haven't heard his
Yeah.
name like
Once.
even whispered.
Whispered. Dude. I wish I could call you a liar. I got to call him out.
Yeah,
I got to call a spade. Buddy, you're doing the only one in the middle that's doing anything is Wyatt Brooks and Kenny Clark. What Lucas Van Ness is doing, our 1st round pick from a couple years ago, wasn't really playing. We kind of benched him his rookie year like we do most 1st round picks. We have Preston Smith there, a lot of veterans ahead of you. Wait your turn, kid. He's young. He's still only 21 years old, 22 years old. But at the same time, when he's out on the field, he's giving us nothing. He can't play.
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm sorry. You're just doing nothing. And when you have nobody out there on the other side of McKinney, you can just roll. McKinney can only roll coverage to one side of the field. He only can do so much.
There's only one guy.
He's only one guy.
10 other people that
And
also got to
we-
do their job.
I gotta ask
Edgerton
you.
Cooper
Like,
is a stud.
he is a
That's the
stud.
one bright shining
That
star
guy's
on our
beating.
defense.
I do
I
got to
like
ask
that
you the
guy.
question. I mean, it's like, do you think this is more indicative of your defense, or is Darnold playing above his level? Because Darnold was really,
I think it's
he
more
kind of
our
beat you
defense.
by himself. They had 69 yards rushing as a team on 26 attempts.
We stopped the run. We just let him because
Yeah, but
and
he
you know what that
he just
shows me?
cooked you.
We're not blitzing him. Why is he allowed to just drop back with
He-
no? You're
Yeah,
not.
You're allowing him to. Really.
We're
Right.
just not doing anything, dude.
Well,
We're
and then
not
Tell your stat
dictating-
about
it's-
the how many guys you're
So we did-
showing to
And then
pass
it was,
rush.
on my phone. I had it written out. Hold on.
And
that's
then
what I wanted. To
something
ask.
else I noticed, kind of undisciplined in the rush lanes. Like when somebody would get pressure, I mean, he just had all these places to step up and slide to in the pocket. Like, yeah, okay, when you do get pressure, I mean, he's not really pressured. He just gets to a new spot and finds Justin Jefferson, finds Jordan Addison or Jalen Naylor.
That's who really beat us.
Yeah, he was shredding you guys.
That's who beat us. I think he had a touchdown and like 150 yards receiving.
He was only 5 for 81 and a touchdown, but yeah, I mean,
what was
still,
Addison?
6 for 69 and a touchdown. Jefferson was their leading receiver. He had 8 catches for 92 yards.
I think most of that came.
Would have been a different. I think it was also the different
he caught
type
that
of game.
50-yarder in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
the game was pretty much.
This would have been a much different game if Jair Alexander was healthy too.
Or
much.
Even if our number 2 DB was healthy, Corey Ballantyne, who didn't play.
Yeah,
he's really our number 2, and our number 3 is Valentine.
Well,
and now he's our number 1.
O'Connell did a great job of just like
he's gotten 3 picks in 3 weeks in a row.
His running game wasn't working.
Good.
I think he used a lot of like the short passing game to kind of turn into the run game because you couldn't run the ball.
And then why aren't we putting our hands up to try to knock these balls down?
Yeah, ton of tight end screens and wide receivers.
We're just standing there.
Stay in the lane and get your hands up.
So Caveman did ask me this. I had it written out. I lied. So the Packers played 73 defensive snaps. 53 of them, we showed 5 rushers. This is per Pro Football Focus too, by the way, everybody. The Packers rushed 5 when we showed 5 3 times. We had 2 sacks and an interception when we did that.
Damn.
The other 37 times, we only rushed 3 down linemen. And they torched us for 285 yards and 2 touchdowns, including that Jalen Naylor touchdown.
Yeah, what's going on with that? Why would you not just keep
trying to
more pressure?
overthink it, dude? We get in these big games, and these coaches think, "Oh, we're gonna show blitz and then drop out, and they're gonna throw us a pick underneath. There's some fat guy who's dropping in space." No, actually, they're just gonna go over the top of you because you have absolutely nobody playing deep third.
Like,
you have a rookie trying to cover 2 guys in one who has no idea what he's looking at.
I mean, you can drop 8 back in the coverage, but when it's not your best 8 and it's Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison running around back there,
you get your pass.
Maybe make the quarterback not,
And then we're playing zone.
not be able to sit back there and step in. Yeah,
we're not even being physical. We're giving these guys free. Really,
like let them run around in the back.
On Minnesota for 3 years. If you man press and play bump and run on Minnesota, their offense shuts down. They rely on timing and rhythm. If you take away the timing, they go 5 and 10. They don't win when you play bump and run coverage and take away the timing of that offense. If they can play in structure and they can play in time where it's 1, 2, 3, drop back, get the ball out, they're going to carve you up. If you take that away, they don't win football games. They never have. Randy Moss, Dante Culpepper, they never, ever have. They've never shown it. Stephon Diggs. This is not the Minnesota Vikings always draft these flashy Corvette guys, and then you get them into some ugly dogfight games, and they will shit down their leg. History proves it. How many times have they lost in the playoffs?
That's what always shows up in the playoffs.
Fight? You know what I mean? It's just what I've watched my entire life.
So
why are we playing so soft?
Losing to a Daniel Jones led team in the playoffs. They want to muddy the waters up, and
they had the Minnesota Miracle game.
That was probably the
then
one.
The next game they get smacked by 35.
They got destroyed by the Eagles.
What are we talking? And they didn't even have. I think that was when they still had Nick Foles as their quarterback.
That was the Nick Foles run.
Yeah.
The miracle run.
You know what I mean? And like Nelson Aguilar is like their number 1 wide receiver.
Yep.
And they get into a rock fight with that team and they can't stand it. Why aren't we just proving what we've done already last year?
I want to see
We've just blitzed their quarterback. We just blitzed Kirk Cousins. He's going to give you the ball. Sam Darnold, his entire career. Why are you just like not blitzing this guy? This guy was seeing ghosts 3 years ago. He's been on 5 teams in 4 years. Just blitz him. And we're just dropping back.
Like the Belichick loved to blitz that guy. I remember like those Patriots teams, the Patriots absolutely.
That's all they did.
Run at him.
That's all they did.
Even if you don't hit him, just show him pressure. He's going to give you a football. He's going to give you 1. And when you're in a game that's you lose by 2, that's maybe all. And he did throw an interception. And guess what? You rush 5. and just gave a easy ball to Carrington Valentine.
Yep.
No, let's not do that again, Mercury.
I want to see how much. I want to
So-
see if I can find out how
Packers
much
are
the
in
Vikings
playoffs.
blitzed.
The
Yeah.
NFC playoff picture, for the most part,
It's going to be
pretty
crazy.
much
We
all
don't even
locked
know
up.
who the 1 seed is going to be because it could be the Vikings.
it's all seeding
technically.
at this point. All the teams have clinched.
Yeah.
So we know who's
Yeah.
going to be in.
E-
As far as who's playing who yet, we have no idea.
Talk a
we
little
have
bit
no
about
idea.
the Eagles because they probably are most likely 2 seed.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what all the clinching scenarios are.
Right now, Minnesota's 1, Philly's 2, Rams are 3.
No one can pass
Detroit's
them.
5.
So yeah, they kind of have the
13-2.
second place
they can-
locked up.
They can, but if Detroit wins tonight on Monday Night Football to the Niners, can the Niners play spoiler? No, probably not. They have too many guys out. I know Trent Williams got shut down for the year.
They have a lot of guys out right
They
now.
really
I
do.
do.
I think
don't
the
think
Lions
CMC
are
's
probably
even
just
playing.
gonna
Oh
win
no!
this one by, like,
CMC
30
was done
again.
after that
Oh,
Buffalo
was it?
game.
Oh, that's right.
Did you not see the angle of like what happened? Like,
That was
dude, he
gnarly.
took like a step and like his whole leg
Leg
like started to like
vibrated.
vibrate, like
Yeah.
something
Exploded,
exploded.
yeah.
I hope
It's
he's okay,
calf.
man.
Yeah,
like
it got
Jesus, that was
destroyed.
like that was painful to watch.
That running back window is so small, man. It's
It
so
is.
small, and you can have a flash, and then just
Taking
like
so
that.
much damage. You getting
Yep.
hit a lot.
Yeah.
The Eagles
Commanders are a 6
impressive
seed, Packers are a 7 seed. So
impressive win at
we'll
home,
see.
going down to their second or third string quarterback rather, Kenny Pickett getting hurt.
Didn't even matter.
Yeah, Tanner McKee comes in and throws for 2 touchdowns. Only threw 4 passes, half of them were touchdowns. One hit the ground and then another one. was a
Cowboys have
completion.
combined in 2 games to score 13 points against Philadelphia this year.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
That's
And-
horrible.
and the-
Eagles
Where's
have been-
Sabrina at?
And the Eagles,
Where's
and
Sabrina
the
at?
Eagles have scored like 86 points. They hung 38 up on them on the first game, and then 41 the second game.
Jesus. Dude.
They've also all 3 the Eagles have had 3 different quarterbacks play the Cowboys and beat
Yeah.
them this year.
It's like they didn't even lose a step. They had the third string quarterback in.
Right.
Most games, that guy's not even
Well,
suited
dude,
up.
when
The
you
guy's
can
in sweatpants most weeks.
when you can
Right.
rush 42 times for 179 yards and
Right.
That also
Saquon
helps
Barkley
quite a bit.
accounts for
Shout out
167 yards of those.
Saquon broke 2,000. Shout out Saquon.
Yeah.
Dude,
Shout out of the Monday.
we got the record breaking run in here too, just to show it. I don't know if he's gonna play next week. I mean, I feel like the Eagles still have something to play for, just in terms of like trying to get
got
a seeding.
I think they got to, man.
Yeah, you got you can't just give up on the 1 seed. You got to play for that win.
Yeah, they could. They can't go down any further, but they could always go up. Like why not?
There's
Especially when you-
certainly some scenarios, and like
Yeah,
I'd have to have it all pulled up in front. But there's definitely a way for them to be the 1 seed.
I did hear Scheffler with or Adam Schefter with a diabolical solution to all of this, where Philly just absolutely tanks the last game of the season, so the Giants win and definitely don't get a top 5 pick, and they don't get their quarterback of the future.
let the Saints
Dude,
get in the top
what-
But then
five.
my thing
Come on.
is like, well, you're gonna be so bad next year, you're gonna let them get Arch Manning.
Maybe.
Ooh.
You know,
No, they'd find a way to find.
I'd
that.
rather
They would
I'd
find a way to
rather-
screw
I'd
that up,
rather have
too.
the Giants get Cam Ward than Arch Manning, because that's dangerous.
All right, but guys, here's the scenario that could go down for the
Manning and the
Giants against the
Giants.
Eagles. Either the Eagles do play their starters, and then Saquon Barkley could potentially break the single season rushing record against them, or he doesn't play, they win and get a worse draft pick this year.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of a lose-lose if you're the
The owner
Giants.
was pit. Did you see Myra in the box? Did you see that? He was livid that they won that game yesterday. He threw his hands up and just walked out of it. He's like, "What are we doing?" Like, you won.
to throwing away
He
the
is one to, you know what I mean? Why
Dude.
didn't you just fire Joe Shane in his idiot office that we saw on?
On
The guy
Hard
said
Knocks.
it's not.
Dude,
He
literally,
literally in the thing said it's not like Saquon's going to rush for 2,000 yards. He said you're not going to
That
win by
aged-
having a $20 million, quarterback hand the ball
Aged
off to a
like
$15 million running back. And I'm like, actually, that's exactly how you
That's-
win.
that's
Like,
exactly how you
look
win.
at Philadelphia.
It's exactly how you win.
What are we talking about? Well, we got to upgrade our offensive line. Yeah, you do that all at the same time, dude.
Yeah.
You can do more things than one. You're the GM of a football team
yeah.
with a blank check from the owner who wants to win.
Well, like
Go sign somebody.
Get rid of your most popular player for a guy that nobody won't like, so you can keep Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
And
Who's
then
not
get
even
rid of
yeah,
him
get rid of
too.
him too.
Then
by
you-
week
get
now
rid of
nine.
he's
him
gone.
too.
Oh my goodness.
And you have to pay a cap hit. If they would have got rid of him before the draft, they would have only had to pay a $9 million cap hit. Now it's up to like 20 something million.
And now you're throwing away the
Ah.
-- overall pick
Pick.
for some dumbass culture
Throwing it
win.
away. Right.
Cultural
Beating
win.
the
who?
Colts.
Yeah, the Colts.
Beating the Colts.
Also, you're Indianapolis, man. That's
Yeah, what
that's
are
how
we
you're
doing?
gonna get not like that's how your season's gonna
Get
end. You're
knocked
gonna
out.
McAfee was
you're gonna
pissed.
go out sad against the
Get
Giants.
knocked
I
out
mean,
by the
just
Giants.
shredded.
Drew Lock had 5 touchdowns.
All these people that streamed your defense for their fantasy championship, and you're
Yeah.
gonna let Drew
Yeah.
Lock throw for 5 touchdowns.
Screw you guys. Screw you guys.
Done with you, Indianapolis. You at least didn't cost me like because the rest of my team went off. But I mean, geez, guys, really?
What
I know-
happened to
no
the guy
Anthony
that sang
Richardson.
songs? The Colts dude. He had this TikTok.
Yeah,
page.
where is he at?
Where is he at? You guys were winning a few games when he actually sang the fight song.
Yeah,
Come
you
on.
need that dude back, whatever his name was.
Find him.
Get him back. Get him back in here. I gotta tell you guys, just a little off topic, but to go to the fantasy championships, if I told you at the beginning of the year I would be in my fantasy championship and then I would win because of performances from guys like Adam Thielen, Amir Abdullah, Jalen
There you go,
McMillan,
dude.
Sam Darnold, that's
Oh,
the
yeah,
reason I
McMillan
won.
went off, dude.
Yeah.
That was insane.
I was way off.
Baker Mayfield, like
You're right.
those are super flex leagues. So I had Baker and Sam Darnold as my QBs. And then yeah, Adam Thielen, Jalen McMillan, Amir Abdullah, and they're just
Sorry,
stacking it.
Tucker Kraft didn't do nothing for you.
Yeah, I didn't play him.
All right, good.
I played Amir Abdullah over
There you
him.
go. Okay. Oh, Amir Abdullah's. I thought he was a running back.
He is. Yeah, it's you got like a flex like wide receiver, running back,
Oh,
tight
okay.
end type,
Okay.
like two of those positions because that league doesn't do kickers either. So it's like
okay.
Oh,
you get like two wide receiver, running back, tight end flexes, a super flex, and then like your
Word.
two
okay,
wide
that's
running backs,
cool.
two wide receivers, quarterback,
pretty cool.
and then the defense. And that was the lineup. I would have never
Got to win.
predicted I'd be winning the fantasy football championship behind guys like Adam Thielen and Amir Abdullah, like in the big 2024. Come on now,
Yeah. So the last year you'd expect, but a lot of people just
yeah.
had really disappointing seasons. There's obviously some guy like I'm sure if you had Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson, you had a great last few weeks of fantasy football.
No, I
got killed.
I had Joe Burrow in 2 leagues and I got knocked out round 1.
I was the
both of
1
those.
seed. I got knocked out. I was the 1 seed. I got knocked out in the first round. This guy, he had Lamar Jackson, also had Saquon Barkley. That killed me. That alone was just 60 points on me. So I was pretty much already
no.
done from there.
Yeah, you're
Like,
toast, bro.
I got killed by
you
the
don't
one-
even have a chance. At least it ended early though. You're not like
Yeah.
sweating
Yeah.
it out. It's like, oh, I got
But
bent
that-
over a table like right away.
that league is fun because we do our playoffs are 2 weeks. So the game it lasts for 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Oh.
So
Dude.
the final score ended up being like almost 250.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
only
say.
lost by like 3 points. I
Most
made a
of the time
huge
it's like,
comeback.
If you don't score about 235, you probably have like no shot.
Yeah.
When it's those
That's
2
tough.
week playoff games.
I've had that. Yeah,
It was
my other
rough.
league that I made the championship, it's a 2-week playoff, but the Super Bowl is just 1 week winner take all.
Oh,
And so,
man.
dude,
Super
the
Bowl's winner take
tension
all,
is
yeah.
on going into tonight. I'm down
Totally.
92-52, but I have
Ooh.
Brock Purdy, Juwan Jennings, Debo Samuel, George Kittle, and Jake Bates. I don't know how I
you
ended
just
up with
have
so
the
many.
entire 49ers.
I don't know how I ended up with so
lineup.
many 49ers. but
That's for everyone that's
but
gonna
the
get the
Lions
ball at
defense,
least.
dude, is
yeah, he does still
It's
have Jared
paper mache.
Goff, but
it's paper.
We're-
Ooh, man.
it's going to be real.
It's
interesting. Interesting.
That's gonna be close.
A lot of tension there.
Is
Yeah,
Brock Purdy playing?
he
I
is.
think
Yeah.
so.
Okay, so all those guys are alive then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
It's not with Brandon
Man,
Miller.
that's tough, dude.
Brandon Allen or whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
Brandon Allen. That's his name.
Bring back
Oh,
Trey
man.
Lance to San Fran. That's what they're chanting.
So it's been some interesting season fantasy football wise. I gotta tell you, like the teams where I stayed healthy,
I did
for the most
worst.
part, like I got knocked out. Like I had like Burrow and T Higgins to stack in 2 leagues all year. Like Achane in 1 league, Achane and Mixon in this 1 league, and like Mixon and Kyron. It was like, I mean, I had like such a stacked team. I felt, and
my
then
Navy League, I don't think I've set my lineup since like week 8.
like those teams, I felt like I was stacked. Those were my teams where I'm like, I think I got a good chance to win the championship. Nope. Round on exit. The one where I'm like, well, I'm just lucky I made the playoffs because I had this league.
That's
I
how
had
it works.
CeeDee Lamb, got shut down
You're
right
gonna
before the
make a run.
championship. I had Chris Godwin, Stephon Diggs. Those were my top 3 wide
Oh,
receivers.
man.
All of those guys kind of felt like CD had some good weeks with Cooper Rush before he got shut down at least. But yeah, no, that was a tough start. And also had Kirk Cousins as the quarterback, won the championship. I just switched to Sam Darnold, left Kirk out of the lineup. Like that, I did not see that coming from him in a million years winning that league's championship. It's got that, like, that's just got to be like the most improbable run that I could have gone on. I thought my season was done, after Godwin went out and then Diggs was down, and I made the stupid mistake of trading for Deontay Johnson because I thought when he got to the Ravens that that should be a revitalization there. So I lost the good running back for nothing.
Oh, no.
I essentially traded James Conner away for free.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh no.
Dang.
But guess what?
That's fantasy.
Still won the championship.
Yeah, I still won the championship.
And I think I beat the guy that. Yeah, I did beat the guy that traded James Conner too.
I want to.
So you're buying lunch?
Huh?
How much money did you win?
I'm not sure. I got to look at how it's split up. I've
First and second and third.
Yeah, there's some money for total points. Team of the week, it's like $10 for like each team of the week. So
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
I can never remember how it's split up, but the guy the commissioner always sends out like a spreadsheet that breaks it down. So I think he's going to do that once we get later into the week, and he counts up everybody's team of the weeks and everything. But I'll buy lunch for the boys once the winnings come in. I got you.
All right.
Heck
there
yeah.
you go.
Heck yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah, my team's awful. I lost guillotine leagues by week 8 this year, week 9.
Dang.
And then my Navy league, your boy just got, injuries crushed me, CMC. Then I traded Tyreek Hill for $100, so I just paid for my league. So I basically broke even. And then Tyreek Hill sucks. And my buddy traded me. He traded me. I got Keon Coleman, and I got a running back. I got. I'd have to look. I don't even have my app even downloaded anymore because you were done. I finished 4-12. I only won 4 games.
Disgusted.
Dude. I think Jordan Love. I traded Jordan Love to one of my buddies who bought me a fish ticket. I'm not, you know what I mean? It was just one of those years. I won I won my league last year, so I really didn't care. And I'm just sitting on all profit. I was like, I'm fine. Yeah. It's in its winner take all league. It's like $1,200. It's 12 team. All 12 dudes have been playing in this league literally since we started in 07.
Nice.
Same 12 guys. Like we've never let any outsiders. Like we'll go months without talking. Right around the corner from the beginning of the season, that email comes out and it's like I have to take my thing because they talk so much shit, dude. Like I have to turn off notifications because it's just too much. It's just too much. But it's like winner take all, $1,200. Like enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if you come in second, you lose your money.
Dang.
It's very cutthroat. And so I lost the first 4 or 5 years, and that's when I was like, okay, if it's no rules, people are trading nobodies for good players just because you have a bad record. Okay, well, when I'm bad, you know what I mean? I'm just going to look at these players like stock options and how it changed my way of looking at fantasy football. Totally different. Totally different. Because I'll pick up a guy on a waiver wire and sell him for $20. And you do that 3 or 4 times, even if you're not serious about the thing, take your number one, because you can't trade your number 1 pick, but your next best player, trade him to a team that's winning. Say you're way out of the playoffs and you're not going to win, or have a chance to win win the money. Sell your best player to them for your entry fee, and then try to pick up 2-3 players that are hot at the, that are hot waiver wire ads in the nitty gritty, week 9, week 10, week 11, and sell them for $20-$30.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. I'm like, oh man, so I'm still going to break even because second place doesn't even break even.
Yeah, you lose.
You lose.
You lose.
First year I did that, dude, they were like, how? And I just did it sneak under the table.
Mm-hmm.
And my boy ended up winning it. And I was like, dude, and it was Derrick Henry. He's rushing champion when the Tennessee Titans beat the New England Patriots. Is going back a long time ago. And I was like, yeah, dude, I'll trade you. And he's in the middle of like setting like the rushing leader record in the NFL that year. And I was like, dude, I'll trade you Derrick Henry for $100. And he was like, you're an idiot. And I was like, no, I'm dead ass serious. You said
I'm out of the playoffs.
I was like, bro, I have 3 wins. It's like week 9. Like I'm out of it. You know what I mean? Like Derrick Henry is my own. Whoever
That's
I
my
had just
guy.
wasn't playing out for your boy. So
Gotcha.
Jimmy Covers was not covering, and I was like, hey, let's do it. So after, and he went out. He only lost 1 game. Like walked in the Super Bowl. Like had everybody. And so Kareem Hunt when he was killing it. Alvin Kamara when he was killing it. You know, had
just
also
a stacked lineup.
Derrick Henry was his flex running back, dude. You know,
Wow.
Like
I
You
That
get
was-
those
it
guys.
was
That's all you
insane.
need.
That's
It,
one way to stack
was,
up a
it
team.
was stupid, dude.
Those 4 guys freaking.
It was stupid his roster that year,
Yeah.
and my buddies were fucking. You know, he sent me a little message or whatever in the group chat after it was all over, and I was like, dude, you send me Derrick Henry for $100, but if you win, you send me another $100.
So you make a profit.
So I made a profit, and they
extra.
were like, oh, and that just I was like, oh, it's cutthroat, right? And nobody could even say anything because they know
Yeah.
they're trying to make shitty, weird trades like that too. I'm like, I just looked at these players now as stock options. You know what I
There you
mean?
go.
Because it's so
Smart plan.
cutthroat and it is winner take all. Like if second place got like $200 where you win your money back plus $100, probably wouldn't have done it. Probably would have never even thought of it. You know, because I've came
Yeah.
in second in that league so many
I think that
times.
really only works in like a winner take all type of scenario.
really
like
does.
a lot of leagues, they do
Yeah.
like they splits for like
Split.
making the playoffs and second and third. And
Yeah, so it's not profitable. that
yeah,
way. Like why would I send you all my profit? You know what I mean?
I've still got a chance to make
Oh, I
it.
still got
But
a
yeah,
chance.
like if it's
Exactly.
cutthroat, like winner take all, like
I'm
Screw
sending
it,
you
just do it.
whoever.
yeah, just do it.
I'm 4 and
whatever.
11
Why
or
not?
whatever I was. You know what I mean?
Why
You know what I
not?
mean? I'm not even setting my roster, dude. Like I don't even care.
Yeah.
It's over.
You know, it's
Yeah.
over. You want Justin Tucker? Like you can have him. You know,
Here you go.
I think I had I think it was the Steelers defense was one of the better defenses in the league that year. I think I traded the Steelers defense for like an In-N-Out gift card or something.
Dang.
That's kind of the way to go, honestly.
It was nice, dude. I got free In-N-Out for like a month for Justin Tucker or the Steelers defense rather. Like I'll take it. All right.
Yeah.
Come on.
If you're not
That's
gonna
what's
win
up.
I'm
it,
eating.
if you're not gonna win
You're
it,
not
you
gonna
might
win
as well try to do something.
Get creative.
Get a win. Get
That's
a
why I like
win
this
some way.
guillotine league that I was in this year. First time I did it, or no, third year I did it. Yeah, third year I did it. A lot of fun, dude. I want to get us in that next year.
That would
It's
be
100
Let's
fun.
do it.
It's
NBR
no,
guillotine.
it's $50. It's $50 guillotine league, winner take all like type of point system. You finish last, and it's not head to head matchups. It's
It's
just
just
all
you
points.
just set a lineup. It's kind of like
set a lineup.
like one
It's
of those
almost
like
many daily
draft
things.
leagues, like
Kind
the
of.
DraftKings like daily
Yeah.
lineups, where it's
But
like
you
you're
get to
not.
keep your team if you don't finish last. But if you finish last, all your players go into the free agency pool, and whoever's a waiver wire gets to
Right.
pick up. Bro, you can be last and be the best team like that.
It's a matter of
kinda
one
cra-
weekend.
And you can be the
I
best
like
team
that.
and be out like that.
That makes it more interesting.
One bad week from Tyreek Hill,
I
he
do.
gone.
You told me about that. I'm like, I do really want to try this.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
All right.
And it's winner take all. It's $50. It is what it is.
Well, we were getting a little reflective on the fantasy football season. It's championship weekend in fantasy football. Let us know how your team did, what mistakes or successes you had throughout the year. Reflect back on it.
I
What
want
would
to
you
hear
have
from
done
the fans.
differently?
I want to hear from the fans. What are some of their punishments for losing?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
what's your
So,
fantasy
yeah, what's
league?
your-
if you got any good
punishments?
punishments, let us know. I want to hear
There's some,
Yeah.
some
insane
really good ones. One of the fun ones I saw was a guy had to go to like a bar, and, go like stay there from open to close. But every beer he drank took off 30 minutes, and every shot he had took off another 45. So
Oh man,
he got there like
You're
10:30
walking
when
out
they
there
opened.
crippled, buddy.
Yeah.
I think he
man.
got out of there at like 6:37.
insane.
So I mean, like
Holy
he
crap.
documented it, and it's just like as he goes on, he's just slurring and
I'm like
slurring. and
eight.
just,
I'm like 8 shots, 15 beers.
you're like, all right, he's
You're
like,
doing
all
it,
right, this
guys.
is
Poor
he's like,
guy.
this is beer number. I don't know, but it's gonna take another 30 minutes off. I'm like, oh man, but
You're losing track of time.
yeah.
I'd
I think
rather
one
do
of-
push-ups.
At least one of his friends like shut up and like took him home. It was like, yeah, let's go.
You did it. You did
Good
it.
job, pal. Let's get
Good
you.
job. Yeah.
Let's get you home. I think you like had to like go on like a Wednesday too or something. It's like not even like a
Good
fun
day.
time to be at a bar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I saw one where Bryson DeChambeau lost like the pro golfers like fantasy football league, and he had to like play a round at like Spyglass Hill, which is like one of the hardest U.S. Open courses on the tour. He had to play it like in like the Christmas Story pink bunny suit. He still shot like a 74.
That's hilarious.
You know what I mean? Like he shot 2 over par on like one of the hardest golf courses in the world, and like then they go and play that at the U.S. Open, and he shoots like a 97 regular, and like he posted on Twitter. This is going back a couple of years. You could look at it. You can look it up. But then he like posted on Twitter. He's like, I should have broke out the pink bunny suit, and they show him like hacking up the course in the pink bunny suit with the big floppy shoes. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even reading putts, and I'm like putting like way better than I did when I was actually trying to like play golf here.
That's nuts. Oh man! All right, we'll be going for a while.
We have. Yeah.
We're gonna hit a quick
10
break.
push-ups real quick. Hold on.
Let's go.
You
Okay,
know,
man, he's gonna
I've
hit
been
the-
working so much that I need to bust these out in the next 2 days.
What's your official count up to?
Still only done 20 push-ups.
Okay, man.
He owes me 320 push-ups for the Saints losing the Packers.
Give us 20 here. All right.
We'll knock it.
All right.
It to 300 right
I got the commentary. Jimmy's got the camera. There you go. Yeah. Hit 20. Let's go. 1, 2. I'm not going to count. I'll just let you count them. But all right. Drop those fantasy football punishments. We want to hear what you guys got, how your seasons went. Also, what your payouts are. Did anybody win any big money this year? And there he goes. Another 20. All
It's
right.
for the Saints.
You've got 40 out of your 340 done. So just 300 more to go, buddy. Light work. We'll do it.
For as bad as the Packers, I'm surprised I haven't. Whew, man. I'm lucky this year, dude.
Yeah.
I'm lucky this year.
I had to dye my hair orange and do 340
Oh, man.
push-ups.
Yeah.
It's a bad
Tough
it's
year
a
for the
tough year
Saints.
for the caveman.
Tough going. Jeez.
T's and P's to caveman, but he's gonna be big and strong by the time the playoffs roll around.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
All right, we're gonna get to a break, boys. We'll see you on the other side. We have top plays, all much more coming up.
Couple bowl games to
On
break
Military
down
Broadcast
as well.
Radio. Till the final whistle.
Don't
We
go
love
anywhere.
you.
We'll be right back.
Come
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
We are back. We are
Welcome
live
back.
until the final whistle. Military Broadcast Radio.
Welcome back.
All three of our teams stink, but it's okay because the Packers are in the playoffs.
Yep.
All of that much more on Military Broadcast Radio.
Right.
Boys,
All right.
we got bowl season.
It's a bowl season.
CU
I just wanna-
blown out.
I just want to rip the Band-Aid off.
Rip the
Let's just
Band-Aid
talk
off.
about
let's
the
get rid of
CU-BYU game.
Yeah, it's tough.
It was
rid of the
tough.
Alamo
It was a
Those-
tough watch.
Those Mormons,
They weren't playing around. Nah,
they
were.
had some pent up aggression. Must be all the soaking that they're doing on the
Yeah.
campuses, man.
They
all
hit
this-
the Dion.
You know,
A little
They hit
shitty
the
on
Dion after they
sideline.
picked off Shador.
I don't know how much they really
I
actually
mean,
played and game plan for that game. I mean,
Yeah,
these guys
watching
are-
how Shador played, I'm like, maybe that's why the Raiders and Giants started to win, and they're like, oh, we don't want this guy.
He even wore Giants cleats.
Dog,
he
See
did
that?
wear. I saw that. I was like, what?
Dog,
I
all
can't
the-
even believe
because
that was
you-
allowed.
Because you get so much negative rushing yards from getting a sack. The CU Bus finished with 2 rushing yards
Oh no.
on 19 attempts. I mean, 9 of those were Shador getting sacked. He got sacked 9 times.
Oh, awesome.
Did a great
That's awesome.
great job of protecting your quarterback. I mean, it was like the issue that like would have, probably been highlighted in the playoff game where that offensive line just
Well, I think they would have
Crump.
actually tried to play in that game.
they might have, yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
And he played in the Pop Tart Bowl.
Huh?
Was it the Pop Tart?
No,
Bowl that they
it
played in?
was the
No, that was
oh,
Miami.
Valero
The
Alamo Bowl.
Yeah, who cares? You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not playing in that.
Like Hunter had a pretty cool touchdown catch that we put in here.
He did. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I don't
Final
know.
college football.
They just did like it
touchdown.
seemed like BYU. They were like coming out to play and like they were like, wow, we just
They
want
must
to
have a
like,
lot of young guys.
make the
They
appearance.
must be wanting to prove something for next year.
Next year, yeah.
That
I
they're
think-
ready to go.
Yeah. I think if you're Colorado, it's like, well, we're still gonna have Prime and we're here, we have these 2 guys leaving, but we're still gonna be good. Like we got a bright future. Team's in a better place than it was, even just 2 years ago, where it was like 1-11.
You guys think Deion's staying now?
He said he was going to, and a lot. I mean, just a lot of what I'm hearing, it's just people seem pretty confident that he's going to stay around at least for 1 more year.
Yeah.
Um,
It'd be nice. I mean, he did get that
yeah,
Julian Lewis kid or that Lewis.
right. I don't like Deion. Kind of, it
Going
feels
over.
like he's got like some
Recruit.
unfinished business that he's got there, where he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not ready to just pack it up and leave yet.
It was a good turnaround, but I feel like, when the playoffs are this new, you have a better chance to make the playoffs
Yeah.
now than ever before.
Yeah.
Like you might as well just keep coaching there. Because this season was miles ahead of where they were the first year.
Totally.
And the offensive and defensive line really didn't even improve all that much.
Yeah.
Like the same weaknesses that CU had
Oh, dude,
2 years ago, they still have this year,
We
but they're
got
better. They're a better
gashed
team
on
still.
the ground in this one. They had 6 ball carriers combined for 42 attempts and 180
Oh my
yards
God.
and
Jesus.
3 touchdowns. I mean,
Man.
they threw 3 picks.
Man.
One of them was like having a receiver trying to throw it or something. But
They had 3 interceptions.
the Cougars did, yeah.
Man.
But
That is just a
yeah,
it's tough.
a
one
trounce.
I think one team was really like, we have so much to play for, and we're trying to prove a point. And I think that BYU was trying to prove like, hey, we should, like we could have, we could have put up a better fight in the Big Ten championship or whatever it was, and whatever chip they were playing with on their shoulders, and the Buffs were kind of like, well, Shador and Travis are just hoping to not get hurt before they go into the
Totally,
draft.
dude. Yeah, totally.
Not to
Now you
get
did
too
bring up
off.
the Pop Tart Bowl.
Miami.
That game was so good.
That was a good game. It was.
Miami.
I mean, like the first 5 drives, I think we saw 5 touchdowns, and
It
then the
was, yeah,
defenses finally started deciding
We
to
bet
play.
the over. We bet that game 5 ways from Friday to go over.
I got to
And
ask
the game went
your
over.
guys' opinion. What do you think about Cam Ward sitting out the second half?
I that was bet into the model. That kind of came out the week before. That kind of came. I should have mentioned it last week, but we just kind of got like we started talking about whatever. But that came out last week. There was a Twitter post by one of the Miami Hurricanes. I'm getting a phone call
People be lighting us up. They want to talk.
My turn.
Yeah. So that kind of came out from the Miami Hurricanes Bleacher Report guy, who is like, Cam Ward's probably not going to play in the second half of this game, so bettors beware. Basically, sends out a tweet with whatever from the press conference. It's going to be when the coach calls it a fluid situation at the quarterback position. I think people kind of within the ranks of college football saw that, and it was built into the total because I played that total at over 53 points, and that dang near cashed in the first quarter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that was it opened 48.5 and got bet up in a week to 53.5. And when I saw
he came in, he was playing just to set like
spotty.
a record.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Because it was it most passing touchdowns
It was.
by like in D1 history. I think he threw
Yeah.
his like 156.
It was a lot. Yeah.
He had 3 touchdowns in this game.
So we bet Miami in the first half. And then we bet the over in that game. And then we bet it live in game for Miami was getting 7.5 points. They thought Iowa State in the second half was just going to
roll over.
So I took Miami to cover the touchdown, and they only lost by 1. And that was a really good ending of that game.
I thought
Matt Campbell always gets his boys ready to play. And I mean, not against a good team in the regular season, but a bowl game, with the backup quarterbacks in, he's got those boys ready to play. They scored 14 points in the second half, and Miami only scored 10, and that was that. But that's backup quarterback.
Good final game of the season for senior wide receiver Jalen Knoll on ISU.
They're saying he might be a first round wide receiver, man.
I mean, this performance certainly helped his draft stock. He was easily the best wide receiver out there. Pretty solid game from Rocco Becht. Miami just pounded them on the ground. Damian Martinez had 179 of Miami's 308 rushing yards.
Wow,
that dude's solid.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's in top place here. He just exploded on a 75-yard touchdown run.
We did bet Army in the Independence Bowl.
Pretty easy one for them there, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
After that Army Navy game, I was like, all right, they're gonna have a bad taste in their mouth. Let's just bet. They were a favorite. They were a 5.5 point favorite. Kind of thought
they were supposed to play Marshall.
They were,
but then Marshall opted out. Yeah.
And then UNLV, they beat. We also bet Boston College. We also bet Nebraska Boston College, and I was drunk. Thank you, Dierks Bentley Whiskey Row. And then and I was riding with
that was a crazy game.
Compton. I was riding Will Compton on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
So I bet Nebraska like a D-gen. A total D-gen bet. They had no business winning that game. But they pulled it out at the end.
Well, dude, it was a 13-2 at halftime.
Yeah.
It was I mean, the rain was coming down. There, like the field was just
blowing,
muddy.
Like
was awful. Field was brown. It was like that coming down that bad.
Who did UNLV play?
Uniforms were dirty. Oh, UNLV, they played.
Yeah, I can't remember. But we hammered UNLV.
They played Cal.
Yeah, and like the Florida Bowl or some bullshit.
I
can't remember.
Art of Sport LA Bowl.
LA Bowl, that was it. Yeah, we bet UNLV. That was one of the best cashes.
This was one of the craziest
That
ones.
was an easy cash.
This Armed Forces Bowl. We were live on Friday, and it was 14-0. Oklahoma was winning. Navy won that game 21-20.
Yeah,
shout out Navy, man.
We got off the air, and I was like, "Oh man, dude,
they came
it's
back
14-0." Yeah, they came back and won it.
It was insane.
Horvath, man, again, monster
this
day on the
guy's
ground.
gonna save our country. Horvath for president, dude.
For real,
for president.
Get him in there.
2028.
Man can run a football. $155 and 2 tutties on the ground.
Jeez,
he was doing something special there.
Yeah, he took one like 85 yards, I think. 85-yard rushing touchdown he had to tie it up.
Let's see. What was it? That was 95. Yeah,
95.
Long of 95 on the day. Yeah.
And Oklahoma nearly had it. They had a last possession. They went down and scored and went for 2 instead of trying to force overtime. So Navy got a big stop on a 2-point conversion and won it. That game was insane. All those fans. Yeah, that was in Fort Worth. That's a pretty sick game for those fans.
It really was. Yeah. Great. What a way to end the season for Navy. That was a great year for them. You beat Army, then you go and beat an SEC team, albeit Oklahoma in a bowl game. Good year for the Naval Academy.
One of the worst bets I made this bowl season. We have not officially. I'll conclude our official record of bowl games after all the college football playoffs are neutralized. But right now, boys, we're sitting at 7-3 in the bowl games. But one of the worst bets I made, dude, was UConn and North Carolina. I bet North Carolina. I was like, oh, the Bill Belichick effect. They're going to come in and start cheating right away. Nope, they got cracked up, dude. I looked at that score early. It was like, dude, it was like 28-7.
UConn, they got their first like Power 4
at
conference win.
halftime. I knew it was like 28. I don't know. I turned it off. I was like, yep, I'm done. I'm toast.
24-7 at halftime, and then got one more score from North Carolina in the fourth quarter. So
meant nothing.
UConn kicked the field goal in the second half and just kicked their feet
UConn
up.
football's back, dude. Big East. How about it?
I think
that was a
UConn's
good one.
technically an independent in FBS.
I think
College
they are,
football,
yeah.
yeah, they're independent.
We had a pretty interesting Big Ten SEC matchup here. USC, Texas A&M. USC ended
yeah,
the
they
season
pulled it
on a W against a pretty good Texas Tech team.
I didn't bet that game.
Some things to build upon there, though, for them, because it was certainly, a good start to the season for them, and then they had a skid, some tough losses here and there. Kind of an embarrassing loss to Notre Dame where they gave up 2 defensive touchdowns. But Jaden Mayava did have 3 interceptions in this game, also threw 4 touchdowns. But young quarterback there.
Yeah, he's
certainly a good, just a real good way to end the season. They came in the bowl season 6-6, got a big win against a team that was playing to be in the college football playoff. I mean, Texas Tech was, one home win against Texas away from being in the SEC championship, potentially being in the college football playoff. And then their season ended by getting beat by the 6-6 Trojans. Jacoby Lane caught 3 touchdowns in this one. $127 on 7 catches there. Just a sophomore there for him too. So, the NIL era, he's certainly probably going to stick around for at least another season, make some more money, maybe try to, have a more successful season here. Maybe he'll enter the transfer portal though. You never know.
Yeah, that's probably where he's heading up.
Take a crack at this new Big Ten, though. You never not worth a chance.
It's going to be wide open, man. The Big Ten going forward.
It really is.
I really think it is.
So you might as well just stay. I mean,
There's going to be a lot of haves and have-nots in college football here coming up in the next couple of years, man.
Because
They gotta do
USC,
something about this portal and NIL.
their schedule is insane. I think.
USC's?
Yeah, they played some of the best teams in the Big Ten all year.
Oh, they did. Yeah, for sure.
They have a tough go of it here. I'll pull their schedule.
They
up real
played
quick.
Ohio State. I know. They played Oregon. I
They
think
definitely played Notre Dame.
played Notre Dame.
So they
Not
opened their
cracked
year.
up.
They played LSU.
Yeah.
Then they had Utah
Respectable
State.
team.
Then they had to play Michigan.
Respectable.
They started 2-0, lost to Michigan. They beat Wisconsin. Then they had to play. They lost to Minnesota and Penn State. They lost to Maryland. They beat Rutgers. Lost to Washington.
Oh,
Then
they
they beat
didn't play
Nebraska and
Penn State.
UCLA before losing to Notre Dame on the final week of the season.
Pretty tough schedule
It is a
for
tough schedule.
Yeah.
just changing conferences.
That's a lot of cross-country travel, too.
It is.
When you're
yeah.
going to Penn State.
But they had to
going
go Penn State came to them, but they had to go to
Okay.
Michigan, to Minnesota. They had to go to Maryland.
That's
That's
a
journey.
cross-country.
It's the
yeah,
4,000
entirety of the
miles.
country. Yeah.
that's a long trip.
It's interesting.
And their other 2 road games at UCLA, at Washington.
I'm hyped for
Not
these
too bad.
games tomorrow. The ReliaQuest Bowl, Alabama, Michigan. The Citrus
Yeah.
Bowl, South
I
Carolina,
wanna bet on that
Illinois.
game, caveman, but I can't. That spread, man, is insane, dude.
And the Fiesta Bowl is tomorrow. First, second round playoff game, Penn State, Boise State kicks off at 5:30
Tomorrow?
p.m.
Yep.
Tomorrow.
That's going to be a good one.
Tomorrow.
I'm interested. I'm real interested in that one. Yeah.
There's also the Texas Bowl, Baylor, LSU. That might be decent. And Washington, Louisville in the Sun Bowl. That should be a pretty good game.
We
too.
got kind of an intriguing matchup tonight. The Trans Perfect Music City Bowl.
Baylor. LSU.
Missouri, Iowa.
That might be kind of decent, that Baylor one.
Wow, dude. I didn't.
Iowa,
realize
Missouri's
that
gonna
game
be
was
kinda dope.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think
Want to see
Iowa, Missouri
Brady
is
Cook's kind of coming up on the end of his
14 points
playing
that spread
career.
with Alabama and Michigan.
What?
I can't bet that, dude. I just can't bet that.
Michigan beat Ohio State.
And I don't
Come
trust
on,
Alabama.
Vegas.
I like, what is Aunt Bama really going
But
to be
then
playing
how much
for?
is Michigan gonna? How many start? I mean, they got like that Bryce Underwood kid.
I mean, I know
their
Michigan's
practice,
probably
but
like
can't
they're probably
play.
going to have at least 2 opt-outs of their best 2 defensive
Right.
players, because those guys are still like
Studs,
high draft picks. I think they're like they got 2 guys on Mel Kiper's like top 5.
And Ryan
prospects.
Williams, is he gonna? I mean, he's a freshman sensation wide receiver, one of many. But is Ryan Williams playing yet for Alabama? That's yet to be decided. I just don't know, man.
That's why it at least makes it fun, because you're not getting any. I doubt the quarterback's going to be playing.
Yeah.
They're not,
I don't think Milroe's going to be playing.
They're not starting Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, we might get to see. I mean, might get to see what the future holds, like who they got. Who they got to pass the torch to.
Because he has to go in the
See
draft.
what they
right?
got.
He's done.
I think Milroe's going.
We might see a first half from him then.
Maybe.
Illinois, South Carolina is minus 10 points too.
That one is what I'm most excited
I
for.
know that it's a freshman quarterback there at South Carolina who's got some potential, but I mean,
Is Altmaier going to be playing in that one?
What the heck is
Mm.
Illinois
And they
going to
got
bring to the team?
Illinois has got a receiver that's definitely going to be a draft pick in that one too. I'm blanking on his name, but they've got like a big, rangy receiver there that he's on the top 10 receiver prospect. I know that. What's something Bryant, P. Bryant. I'm gonna pull his name up here real quick.
Pat.
I think it's Pat. Yeah,
Pat
let's see.
Bryant?
The page is Pat Bryant. I don't know if he'll want to play, man, because he's definitely going to go in the draft. Do that 10 touchdowns this season, 984 yards. It still could be interesting. It's 2 teams that, even if the backups are playing, a lot of pride there. They're going to want to prove something.
Players.
Both two good teams that have recruited well. Well, I think that'll still be an intriguing matchup. Obviously, the game to watch is Penn State Boise, but I'm going to definitely be keeping an eye on that one as well.
I'm glad that's tomorrow night.
It is. Yeah.
I'm glad that's tomorrow night too. I might
New Year's
bet
Day,
this,
man.
I might actually bet this Baylor and LSU game, man. I mean,
When is
LSU's
it?
getting 3.5, and Brian Kelly's coaching for his job. I cannot believe I'm gonna lay it with LSU here, but I might sprinkle the money line at plus 156. That's too good of a team with too many too many good players in the SEC playing Baylor.
Fair
It's
enough.
Baylor.
Yeah.
I might be betting this LSU game tonight, guys.
I kind of like it. So you're saying take LSU in the points because they're the underdog.
They're the
dog,
under, right? Exactly. So you're getting 3.5 points.
And I mean, I don't hate
Yeah.
that what you're saying there. Kelly coaching for his job.
He's he's on the hot seat down there in Baton Rouge.
He really is.
What's he going to bring? He knows he has to bring it and show it to get some momentum for recruiting. He's already lost 3 recruits that have already decommitted. A couple weeks ago was signing date for the early period.
Oh yeah.
And he lost 3 big time recruits. 1 to Clemson, 1 to Georgia, and then 1 to Notre Dame. We took an offensive lineman from him.
So that Notre Dame O-line just gets even better.
Oh, dude, we're stacked. We got Ben Nichols, dude. We're gonna be loaded. We got that kid from LSU. We got an incomer from Duke that transferred in.
Oh yeah.
Who was injured this season, who was gonna be our starter, but training camp he blew his hamstring and needed season-ending surgery. He'll be there next year. He's just a sophomore.
Baylor coming in on a 5-game winning streak, though. They've been pretty hot. Beating OK State, TCU, West Virginia, Houston, then Kansas. So nobody like too crazy, but got certainly some momentum coming in. But their last game was the 30th.
I'm going to bet the 3.5 because I think it's 3-2-1 kick a game-winning field goal.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think this is a game where either team gets, and holds or necessarily holds a double-digit lead.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Definitely not. I know Baylor has an up-tempo offense, but I think LSU has a good enough defense on pass rush with too many guys coming and playing this game that have to play in this game.
That one dude that's leading the country in tackles playing for LSU.
He's like a sophomore too.
Ian Weeks, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
It's something
He'll
Weeks.
probably play then.
Oh, yeah.
If he's a younger guy.
He's a younger guy.
Play.
That's what you have to kind of project. All right, how many of these kids that are draft eligible are going to play in this game? Probably not.
Not too
whole
many.
lot, especially with the current, got teams that are playing just basically their starters in the first half,
Mhm.
And then second half, whatever.
Get the
You know,
backups in there.
LSU's got to play in this game. I think this is a game that LSU has to play. I don't think this is a game where like they limp into a bowl game. Like, all right, well, we had our sights set on the SEC, all this. I think this is a team that has to come out and play some ball,
They definitely do.
get some momentum from next year.
Well,
Because you're going into another gauntlet in the SEC.
Yeah, you don't want to look like this like weak team.
You lose a game to
and the
Baylor. What's
SEC.
to look forward to next year?
Well, then, like
You know.
recruits aren't going to want to go there. People aren't
Yeah,
going
that's
to.
gonna
You're probably
screw
going to
them
get
over.
less transfers.
Transfer portal's wide open, dude. It's a
Yeah.
Wild West, buddy.
Yeah,
Who's playing for Brian Kelly? What are we talking about? You better win this game.
Transfer portal started before the playoffs. People that are on playoff teams transferred,
Right.
which is
Already.
honestly stupid. I feel like
Pretty
you should
stupid.
have to wait.
I think
'Cause
you
it's
should have
just
to wait,
like
too.
we're in the free agency period of college football.
Yeah.
We're gonna see who signs where for these
It was
$100,000
so
NIL
restricted
deals.
for so long where nobody could transfer. Nobody got paid, except unless it was under the table. Now everybody gets played. Everybody can transfer. There's no like happy. NCAA is a freaking joke, dude. It really is a joke.
it's chaos, man.
It really is the dumbest thing, but it produces some of the best games, the best talent.
It
It's
really
this,
does.
It's this weird system because they have great there's coaches that develop these kids. Look at how many players go undrafted in the NFL that go step right in and take like a college program. Team picks them up, puts them in the same program. No big deal.
They fit right in seamlessly. Yeah.
Seamlessly. Countless players or even late round draft picks for that matter. Small school guys. DeMarcus Ware. Troy University. Tell me where Troy University is right now.
It's in Louisiana somewhere.
It's in Alabama.
It is.
It's in Alabama.
Alabama.
No
Troy,
way.
Troy, Alabama. It's in Alabama.
No,
99% sure.
I think so.
you're
It's either-
joking.
It's in
No,
the
it's
South. I think it's in Alabama or Louisiana though. One of
It,
those.
it seems like such a Louisiana school.
I think
Maybe
it's
I'm
in
just
that.
totally wrong. Like even their like name.
This is definitely not the right Troy University because Troy University is being listed at Explorer Drive, Colorado Springs.
It's in Colorado
That's
Springs.
not-
We're all wrong. I forgot about that. Because what's Troy's mascot? It's like a
Trojans.
Troy
Yeah, it's the
Trojans.
Trojans. Yeah, it's in Troy, Alabama.
That's a little on the
Yeah,
nose.
it's in Troy, Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, because I've definitely driven through there and I've seen.
Gotcha. Wow. I this whole time.
Because it's close. It's not far. It's right there in that little corridor. If you would have told me Georgia, I probably would have believed you too.
They're all
It-
right there.
It's in that little corridor, but
They're
yeah,
all
it's in
right there.
Alabama. I thought
My entire life, I've gone believing that was a Louisiana
it's in
school.
Alabama.
No kidding.
Because DeMarcus Ware, I believe, is from Bessemer, Alabama.
All right, that makes
where
sense.
where Bo Jackson is from. No big deal. Something in that water down there, dude.
Oh yeah.
It's
Shout
all
out
it's
Bo.
it's got to be all the dead alligators or whatever. I don't know what's dead in that water, but they're drinking it and it's working.
They just got something special in the gene pool that like all those companies that are just dumping chemicals in the water.
Making
Most-
some great football players.
Most
man.
people get cancer, but these guys they got something that just gives them like superpowers
Superpowers, dude. Kind of
for
crazy.
real. You know what was a crazy game on Christmas Eve? SFU or USF, South
USF.
Florida, and San Jose State.
Yeah.
Man,
That one is
Yeah.
sick.
this was a was it
The
4
Hawaii Bowl?
overtimes, 5 overtimes?
Yeah, wild, bro.
Absolute thriller. I was out on Christmas Eve coming back from a place having the beer or two, just enjoying this game before I went home and went to bed for Christmas morning. It was a crazy game. Did not expect to just show up to the sports bar and get an awesome football game
Mm-hmm.
to watch here.
Yeah, we
Bryce Archie
bet one
making
of our
some
winners
clutch
this year
throws.
was USF. We bet USF pregame.
That's another big one. And
Yeah,
then there
that
was
was a good one.
another insane game between Toledo and Pitt that went
Oh,
into
yeah.
6
That was,
overtimes.
That one is crazy.
That was a wild,
Some teams,
wild game, dude.
both of those teams there were playing for a lot of pride.
Totally.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
want
Pitt
these.
lost. I mean, if you're Pitt, like, man, how are you feeling about the end of this season? Because you were like 7-0 or something at one point,
Yeah.
6-0, whatever, and then you lost like 6 in a row, 5 in a row.
Yeah, they played
Right.
SMU, lost, and just went on a really bad.
a
skid
huge
towards-
downward spiral. Yeah, like how, and then you lose to Toledo, a MAC team, which Toledo was solid, but I mean, you're a
You can't do
AC.
that.
You were supposed to be one of the better teams in the ACC. You shouldn't be losing to
Tucker Gleason.
Toledo. Yeah, Tucker Gleason's carving you up for barely even completed 50% of his
Yeah.
passes, but still had 336 yards.
Yeah, he's
Like, what is
26 of
happening? 50.
Still got 300.
Like just barely over 50% completion percentage.
Dang, dude.
They didn't even run the ball that great. Leading rusher, Jaquez Stewart, 7
39
carries,
yards.
39 yards. And his longest was 31 yards.
Interesting.
So
Yeah, Desmond Reed, he had more yards. He had like double the amount of yards Toledo had as a team rushing. He had 169.
oh my God.
But Toledo must have had 450 passing yards.
They had 336.
Yeah.
Including Junior Vanderos. This guy was pretty good.
That's a Blue Mountain State name if I've ever heard it.
Junior Vanderos the third.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
Blue
yeah.
Mountain State.
Easy,
That's a
yeah.
Blue
Heck
Mountain
yeah.
State quarterback, bub. What
Heck
are you
yeah.
even talking about?
Oh man.
Hanging
Bug-
350 on him?
No, that was he was a number one wide receiver. 12
Oh,
catches, $194 and a touchdown.
nice.
Caught a 67 yarder.
What about
And
Pitt? They
there's,
subbed in Gavin Bartholomew.
Okay,
Didn't even know that guy existed.
Julian Duggard, you're out. David Lynch, you're in. Yeah.
Give me Gavin Bartholomew.
Yeah,
Gavin,
that's tough.
that's like a number 86. I think that's like a tight end. They tried to like throw it with like a tight end, like a tight end sweep into a throw. That was just something crazy.
Pulling out the kitchen sink.
Pitt Panthers. I mean, maybe it's not panic mode, but I definitely gotta be worried or at least pretty alarmed with how that season ended and this bowl game loss. What is that future going to hold? Because I mean, like now Belichick's in the ACC. Obviously, you got Clemson to deal with there. SMU's on the come up. Like what program could be in some trouble there.
And they just started to get better.
They
They
did.
really
I mean,
never really.
it looked like the way you started this season. How did it collapse so spectacularly? You know.
How many of their last games did they lose? Once that
Now we're gonna take a look at it.
They were so
Hey,
good.
if we got any Pitt fans, man, call into the show. Let us know what your thoughts are. Because you start the year on a 7-game winning streak, and then you lose your last 5. So start 7-0, then lose 5 straight. Get crushed by SMU. Drop 1 to Virginia. Then you had it was kind of a tough stretch. I mean, you had SMU. Virginia's not that good though. Lost the close one to Clemson. Got absolutely dogged by Louisville, 37-9, and then drop 1 to Boston College before losing to Toledo in your bowl game.
Wow, that's awful.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's awful, man.
really bad. Especially they crushed Syracuse too,
Yeah, they beat
Yeah.
Syracuse.
like 41-13, and then you come in going on the road to SMU. You got to feel like you're feeling kind of good about that to then just fall off a cliff. Tough if you're a Pitt Panther fan. All right.
Way to end the season.
Yeah.
5 straight
way to end the
losses.
season, man.
7 in a row, then you lose 5.
I gotta say, guys, I'm a little excited for the FCS championship. I don't know if you guys caught the semifinals.
I did. I bet
They
on
were
the
the
semifinals.
same day
Let's
as
go
the
Montana, baby.
Montana State Bobcats.
Let's go Montana State. baby.
Touchdown.
They're killing
Tommy.
it, dude.
Or Tommy Touchdown, whatever
Yeah.
they call
I
him
think it's
over there.
Montana State's North Dakota State. this
Yeah.
year.
Montana State's looking to cap off an undefeated season. They're
Dude.
15-0 right now.
I've been
Oh.
hammering Montana State all year. Been an ATM machine. They only have not covered in 2 games this season.
Dude, if you're Montana, like if you're living in Montana there too, I mean,
They're
this is
probably
like,
lit. Yeah,
this is like the Super Bowl, man. Yeah,
for sure, dude. Yeah,
this is
and North
this is
Dakota
your,
State's been the
your
bully
team.
on the schoolyard for
yeah. They've been like
a long time. So
they were saying. I mean, it's something crazy. Like 10 of the last like 15
South Dakota
national
State's
champions.
pretty good, but North Dakota State's always been
Yeah.
that sort of team.
Well,
They're
South
young.
Dakota State, I think they had gone back to back, and they were
Shout out
North
Tucker
Dakota
Kraft.
State knocked them out this year.
Yeah. in the
Wa-
in the semis.
and the semis got a
Yeah.
7-point win.
We bet North Dakota State that game. They had a 10.5. They were getting 10.5. We bet North Dakota State.
Yeah,
Now we're going to come back on top. With
this
Montana
touchdown
State.
Tommy guy, man, he had 17 passing attempts where he only completed 8, but then he also had 17 rushing attempts where he had a $125 and 2 touchdowns.
Damn.
Kind of like a Navy style of play right there. If
Yeah.
I'm being honest,
Yeah.
but also, I mean, he had some dots. Like he can throw the ball down the field. It's just they got a good offensive line that they like to run behind. But I love this dude's name, Taco Dowler. He caught a
Heck
nice
yeah.
deep touchdown, running kind of a fade route, beat the cornerback, no safety help, and then just caught a dot from touchdown Tommy. So I'm rooting for Montana State. You know what? Give
I want
Montana,
to see him win.
give those people up in Montana, up in Big Sky Country, something to celebrate.
That's
And
what
yeah,
I'm
like
talking about.
North
Oh, yeah.
Dakota State, man, they've won or been in it like so much too. You know,
And Montana State's always been like knocking on the door, but they just could never get over the hump over
right?
North
right.
Dakota State. South. They've always been like a sneaky good team. This year, I think, is their year.
They're like
I've
they
been
really
hammering-
put together a
I've
squad.
been hammering Montana State all year, and because those games are always electric, dude. They've sort of taken over like that, like when they used to call it MACtion, for the MAC conference.
Yeah,
They've kind of taken over
Oh yeah.
that. They put a lot of those games on ESPN to start the day on ESPN2
Mm-hmm.
on Saturday morning. And those are like they start like 9 o'clock in the morning while game day's still on, or 11 o'clock. Like, they're the B team behind like Alcorn State and like, Toledo or something dumb like that on like a random Saturday.
Yeah.
They'll have like the big game, like Montana State versus, whoever. And those games are electric.
and Montana State dominating this year.
They only have not
15 and-
covered 2 games. They've
They're-
covered every game except 2.
They're 15-0. They only have 2 games,
Yeah.
including the playoffs, that have been a one possession
One
game.
possession game.
That was their season opener against an FBS school in New Mexico.
Yep.
And then they were
14.5 point favorites in that game.
like, that's how crazy good they are. And then they got lost, or they won a close one at UC Davis. I
Wow.
mean, you look at every other game. I mean, they have just blown
Out.
teams
There's nobody
out.
in the FCS that can
They
compete.
they haven't scored less than 30 points all season
Right.
as well.
Yep.
That a 30-28 victory over UC Davis was their lowest point total this season. They scored 35 on New Mexico State, 31 on Utah Tech. I mean, then it's like 41-24, 52-13, 37-17, 55-17. I just absolutely blowing teams out of the water. A couple 49-7 victories in there. 38-7 victory. Yeah, just nothing been close for this team. A 31-17 victory in the playoffs. Now they're headed to the finals. Go. I mean, yeah, let's go Montana State Bobcats, man. Complete this magical
Let's go
season.
Montana
They've just
State.
been
They've won me so much
dominating all
money.
year.
Whatever player plays for them, watch the show. Dude, I owe you a beer.
we're rooting for you.
As somebody
January
on that
6th.
team,
Somebody.
I need to get you a beer. Let's go
Yeah.
to Dirks Bentley.
Well, I mean-
Whiskey Row,
What
Well-
something.
Oh, that's when the FCS championship is January 6th. Which it'll be tough because like people in Montana might be celebrating that holiday.
Or something else.
A different way.
That's,
So I was saying, what an
Yeah.
anniversary. Oh,
is that
boy.
game in DC? We got to make sure.
It's in Frisco.
Ooh, all right.
man.
It's in
Yeah.
Frisco.
Toyota Stadium.
All right.
There we go. Frisco, man. What what a random place to put that game. I mean, there can't be like that many other
Well, it's
sporting
got to be
events
in
going
like
on.
at least
Yeah.
nice weather because like the weather up there is a hellscape.
Oh, yeah, you
now.
definitely
So
can't
there's
have that in
No
Montana.
way you're having a game in
Oh,
at
throw
any
it,
home
throw it in
stadium.
Bismarck or something.
That's
have 20
I mean, and
have 20 people show.
no disrespect to the amazing city of Frisco, Texas. I just thought there aren't that many sporting events going on that day. It's really like on the college football side, it's just that one. You're like,
yeah.
can we can sneak this into somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Just to make it a little bit bigger stadium. I haven't seen Toyota Stadium. Maybe
Dude,
it's huge.
I would love to see something like the FCS championship gets played right before the national championship
Right, because I
That'd
mean,
be cool.
in the same stadium with that big of an audience, dude.
'Cause it's
Players
3
being able to
days-
throw their head and like scouts will be there.
yeah, dude, it's 3
know.
days before the next semifinal game after we determine who everybody from these New Year's Days
quarterfinals
games.
play. Yeah,
Yeah. So I like that, man. Like, let's
throw it in. I've always wanted
throw
that.
it on the day before. I mean, you can
I've
do,
always wanted the women's national championship and the men's national championship in college basketball to be played on the same day. Like one in the morning, one in the, you know what I mean?
That would be cool too.
It'd be elite. It'd give these girls a spotlight because you're gonna have all the audience already
yeah.
there.
Yeah, like this year, they actually were able to. They beat the viewership on the women's side because they put
Mhm.
that on the Sunday afternoon. There's nothing.
true.
Yeah, which I mean,
There
why
isn't shit on.
why can't you do like why can't we have women's tip off at like 1:32 on like on a random Sunday in April? Nothing
Yeah.
else to watch. And then like, why are we having the men play on Monday night?
Right.
Just have them, follow
Play at
that
the
up
same
immediately.
time.
Follow it up after that.
I think it'd be so good. I think
That'd
it
be
would
sick.
like the build up and anticipation. Like then the boys get to watch the girl. Like I don't know. I think that's always been fire. They did it like high school basketball.
That's
where
how
I'm
high
from,
school is. Yeah,
You know,
too.
and it's always elite, dude. Like you
We
just
were-
get into it. Way
We were
more.
doing the Regis games, man, and like the guys they'd be coming out and warming up, because it's a small gym. They're warming up behind us while we're calling the women's game, and you can hear them. They're watching the game. They're getting hyped, cheering on their
Yeah,
they were
the
cheering.
ladies on there
Yeah,
before they run
watch.
out and play their
Yeah.
game. Like it's
yeah.
And the women's team was better than the men's
it
team.
was yeah.
So the women's team built up a lot of the hype for the men's team
Yeah.
to play right
did.
after them.
Word.
Everyone stayed. Those games
Yeah.
were pretty like good 4 hours of that place was packed.
Yeah.
In at Regis. So pretty good. That was a fun season.
But I agree with you totally, Jimmy. Like let's put the FCS championship. Get like
In front
maybe
of the
the
national champ started at noon,
yeah.
ended at 3:30. Give yourself a 2.5 hour pregame. Kickoffs at 5:30.
The only
The game
problem
doesn't get over till freaking midnight on the East Coast when they started at 6:30.
I will say the only problem with it, if you're trying to do it like start it during the day, is like, are you going to do it on a Saturday? Because you're kind of like going right around the same time as NFL playoffs, and it does look like they're trying to schedule it around when there aren't NFL playoff games.
That's the thing. You're always
because you're like the
Always
semifinal
competing
games
with
are
that.
Thursday and Friday night at their respective stadiums, and then the national championships Monday, January 20th.
And I also think the obstacle is there's not as many games in the FCS level as there is in the FBS level. Plus, with conference championship, like there's just a round robin playoff for the FCS. There's not as many
Yeah.
games.
Their playoffs started like before
know.
the last week of the
Right.
regular season for
Right.
D1.
So like they would have to extend their year or like start the season later or give them a longer break. I just don't like giving them a longer break. And then you're sort of
Yeah.
like playing for 6 months.
I
and then
will
you
say,
stop for a month and you're like, all right, well, our game's not until January 7th.
yeah.
And your playoffs started like a week after Thanksgiving. That's kind of hard.
Stuff. Yeah, I will say they are at least giving them a chance to be on the like national spotlight. Like
they are.
it's a Monday night. There's no Monday night football. Obviously, there's no other college games on. It's just like the FCS championship.
Yeah.
And they'll still probably get more views than whatever NBA games are on that night.
No kidding, dude. Easy. Yeah.
All
Going back, I think we missed it. LeBron for the Christmas thing when he's like, "Oh, I
We did
love
talk
the
about it a
NFL."
little
Did we
bit.
talk about it a little bit? I
Yeah.
forgot.
yeah.
I might have been stoned, but I was like, dude, it's not even. People will watch the Jacksonville Jaguars and
Dude, both of the
Trebekistan versus the Raiders over any NBA.
both of those games are complete blowouts, and they averaged like 25
Yep.
million
Dude,
viewers.
the NFL
It
was
was
so
the-
savage.
it
They
was-
put it on Netflix so they couldn't change the channel when it was a blowout to national television.
Right. It was like some of
Had
the
to stay and
it was
watch
You have to stay and
record
watch it.
record-breaking viewership for NFL games.
Yeah.
And the NBA had a good day. Granted, they had like around 5 million viewers on like each, but I mean, it's
You know,
not
it was a
even,
better day
it's not even close.
yesterday when there was 3 fights in the NBA, and all of a sudden, people are talking about it because they
There's a lot of
watched it.
drama.
This
Yeah.
last month, there's been a lot of fights. in
Been getting
the
a little
NBA.
chippy, yeah.
It's been getting a
Alright.
lot better.
You have to bring something back to the game that's missing.
So-
There's nothing that really like makes me say, I got to go watch this game. People want to see Mahomes fail. The dark magic.
Yeah, they do.
We're going to tune in to hope and
Dark
pray.
Magic. Hope
Derrick
pray that he
Henry,
loses.
fan
yeah.
favorite, NFL smart, good guy, bad guy on the first game, good guy on the second game. Fan favorites in the second game. Most hated team in the NFL this year. First game. I
Right.
wonder why.
Put Mathanos on in the morning and then have Captain Lamarca
It's
in
not
the
difficult.
afternoon.
Baseball does it with Shohei Ohtani. You know what I mean? What are we talking about?
We just don't have any really like any villains in the NBA. Not any that are like you're like scared of. Like I don't
Yeah.
care about Dylan Brooks.
And then I kind of
Draymond
hate the
Green.
NBA because they showed this thing, dude. Like they were like Draymond Green has like more career 3-pointers than Larry Bird, and they're like just bashing Larry Bird. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, Draymond Green has more career threes over Larry Bird, so he's not that good. It's like, bro, like Larry Bird shot like 15 threes a season.
Yeah, it was just
You know
wasn't a
what I
lot
mean?
of 3-point
It wasn't
volume.
like that, you know. But his 3-point average, let him shoot 1,000 more at his average. He's not. I mean, he's the all-time leading scorer by 25,000 points. So
Probably.
you know, no,
But
dead
just
serious.
adding
LeBron's
all
not
those
even.
threes.
LeBron's not even in the top 5. If they allowed as many threes now as they did back then with their aggregate of what they shot back then to now, LeBron's not even top 5 scorer all time. And Kobe Bryant has way more points too. I mean, look at Carmelo Anthony. He got like top 10 all time
yeah.
just because of 3-pointers in this era. I don't want to go off too much off topic.
Yeah.
It's
I did
Monday
see an
Football
interesting
Wednesday.
thing about like how many points, some players would have if they'd never missed a shot. Like LeBron and Steph had some crazy high number. Like I think Steph passed LeBron just because like of all the threes. That if he had never missed any of them, that would have like
Yeah.
and like so like Ray Allen would have been up there too.
Oh, dude. Reggie Miller would
Reggie Miller, yeah. Like I think a lot of those guys because LeBron's a good 3-point shooter, but he
early
didn't
in
have
his
a ton.
career, yeah, he didn't have a ton.
So like a lot like guys that could really knock down the threes like past them. And then like like John Moran, if he never missed a shot, he had like a life sentence. And
Yeah.
it was
And we're kind of lucky that this era has never seen a player like, dude, I'll just say it. Nobody's going to agree with me. Gilbert Arenas. Buddy, that dude, Agent Zero was a dog.
He
Yeah.
just never
Now
had
he has, like,
anyone
some-
on his team.
He-
he
Never
never-
had any.
now he just like
teammates.
gives
got knee
terrible
injuries and
Yeah.
come
takes on
back
his
early,
podcast.
You know, yeah, he gets
Yeah.
perfect example of somebody who played sports has absolutely no idea
Bro, he was like
about anything about sports.
he had such an anti-Jokic agenda too. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
him and Kevin Garnett.
Mhm.
Kevin Garnett
he
has
just hates
kind
white
of
guys, so it's
changed.
okay. Like, they're not going to say it, but
yeah. Ah man,
just
you
what it
can
is.
see it. Yeah.
I don't really care. You know, some guys play into it. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, that gets played into it. You know, and I don't really care. You know, because you can watch. You know, you don't need to tell. I don't need any NBA player to tell me who's good when I can just watch. I'm like, that guy's good. You don't need any proof. You know,
Exactly.
I've always hated that. Like, stop trying to tell me what you think, and like, stop thinking I'm an idiot. Like, I know what I'm watching.
I can use my eyes. I see.
Somebody who has 50-point triple doubles, like, and is the reason why your team's winning.
Yep.
Take
There it
Jokic
is.
off the freaking Nuggets. They're a lottery team. What are we talking about?
They're
dude?
already the 7th
Bro,
seed
it's-
right now
you
this
know?
year.
Dude,
30
Jokic and
games
Joe
in.
Burrow have so much in common. 'Cause I'm
So
like,
much.
dude, it's like, oh my, you take
But
Burrow
yeah.
off the Bengals, they might legitimately be 0-17 right now. I don't know if they'd if they'd have won a game.
They wouldn't. They would be 0-17.
Maybe
That
3.
defense.
Maybe, I don't
Their
know.
offense keeps them in everything.
Yeah.
Because you look at how many games, every single game, except for 2, the Bengals have scored more than 20 points. Like any other quarterback's not doing that.
I mean, last year when Burrow was injured and they had that backup, I mean, he won him some football games.
He won
He
a
did,
couple.
yeah.
He won
I
a
just don't
couple.
think with this team. I mean, I probably 4 or 5 maybe. You know.
I mean, I'm
Team
kind
takes it
of
like-
I'm hyperbolizing a little bit, you know. Like,
Yeah.
Like 0-17 is a little unrealistic. You
Yeah.
do still have Jamar Chase and T Higgins. Like,
Right.
let's, you know,
Well,
as we
I think they're good enough to figure it out.
right. I mean, as
you know,
we've seen, you know, what last year with Browning, this year with Darnold, like, you know, if you have 2 elite receivers to throw to, you can
can
find some
figure
ways
it
to
out.
win some football
Yeah.
games. Eventually, you know, they're going to be a little too much to stop.
Is it
but
even a debate at this point? Like, if the Bengals had like 10 wins, who's the MVP?
Burrows would be running away with it. Dude,
This guy's insane, dude.
he's got
he
like
would've got it.
4,600 yards and 44 touchdowns.
He's about as prime Aaron Rodgers as I've ever seen without seeing Aaron Rodgers.
Let's, you know what? Before we go on the break,
He's
let's
as
get into
close
the,
as
the MVP debate because I want to discuss it a little bit.
Deal.
I mean, the NFL, first of all, they're doing some nasty like narratives to put like for pushing like for Josh Allen. I don't know if you saw, this is 2 weeks ago. Lamar Jackson threw a pick against the Steelers. They post the highlight on their social media, and they're like, they call it out. They say like the Steelers defense comes away with a pick, saying, like Lamar Jackson messed up. The Steelers got a pick. Josh Allen also throws a pick in the end zone, and the DB is just an idiot. And instead of taking it down to one knee, tries to run it out and gets tackled at the one. And they post on their social media, Josh Allen pins the Patriots at the 1 yard line with this arm punt.
Oh yeah, even on the stats on that game, it showed up like coming back from commercial. It didn't show the stats that Josh Allen had thrown a pick that game. That same interception. They didn't have his interception listed on there, but Drake Mays was. Drake Mays was listed on there coming back from commercial break to watch the play.
Okay, guys, also, even though they don't have a good record, I think Joe Burrow really should get it. I don't even care. I'm just going to ask you a little question. So Joe Burrow, he's leading the league in passing yards. Guess where on the top 5 are Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen?
I mean, Lamar's probably not that high. I'd probably have to put him like 7 or 8.
Okay, where do you think Josh Allen is? Do you think he's in the top 5?
I think he's top 5.
Allen's
He's not. Nope.
He's not in the top 5?
Neither one of those guys are in the top 5 in passing
Yeah.
yards.
Yeah, they're both under.
I am sharing the odds.
Baker
up there,
Mayfield's
boys.
second in passing
Josh
yards.
Allen is a
Shut
minus
up.
300 favorite.
So-
Shout out,
Jackson's
Baker.
Lamar Jackson's 6th in passing yards. He's got 39.55. Josh Allen's 9th with 37. And Allen has 28 touchdowns on the year. Lamar Jackson has 39. And Joe Burrow has 42. As well as a 109 passer rating and a 76.7 QBR.
Yeah.
So
That's
Lamar
interesting.
Jackson does have the best. Those 3 guys are top 3 in QBR.
It's sort of like a Heisman Trophy, man. Now the MVP in the NFL, dude.
It's gonna get into that.
It's kind of who cares?
Because
You know
Josh
what I mean?
Allen,
I mean, like
super
Allen's
popular this year, just from
Definitely.
yeah. I mean, like he's probably gonna win it because Lamar won it last year. And it's like if you look at Allen last year had like way more total touchdowns than Lamar
Yeah,
Jackson.
way
It's
more.
like at that point, I'm like, I think Allen deserved
think
it more
Lamar-
last year. Lamar deserves it more this year. But Joe
Yeah.
Burrow has been the best quarterback in
In
football.
football.
His team's just
Joe
sold
Burrow
so
is-
many games.
It's most valuable player. The most valuable player is Joe Burrow.
this year. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Easily.
The Bengals
Now, the
don't
most
even have
popular
easily.
player is probably Josh Allen.
the Bengals don't even have a hope or a prayer of making the playoffs if Joe Burrow is not their quarterback.
Right.
If Joe Burrow doesn't throw for 46,
They're closer
100
to a
passing
1
yards.
pick than they are a 1 seed.
but I'm not putting it
even
past
a
Joe
debate.
Burrow to get to 5,000. He could easily throw for 400 yards against the Steelers if he wants to.
That's true.
It doesn't matter who
That's
he's
their
playing.
last week.
Yeah, they
Oh
play
man,
Steelers.
yeah, I think it's the Broncos, brother.
I think the Broncos are getting in.
Yeah.
I think the Steelers, dude.
So it is in Cincinnati.
They could.
No,
prove me
it's not.
right.
It's in Pittsburgh, actually.
That's interesting. Yeah, Josh Allen is overwhelming. That means like if anybody's new to betting up here, Josh Allen at these odds minus 300. That means you have to lay $300 to win $100.
Also,
If you really like Joe Burrow at 25 plus 2,500, that just take away the zeros, add the decimal points, and put a 1 next to it. It's basically 25 to 1. So if you bet,
Dude.
$50 at 25 to 1, you're gonna win 550 bucks off that bet.
look, and I get it, Josh Allen's popular. I like Josh Allen. I'm a Josh Allen fan.
I'm
I
a
love-
Josh Allen
yeah.
fan too.
But just this season, man. I mean, I could make a stronger case for Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold to be MVP because Baker, behind Joe Burrow in passing yards, he's got 40. We'll call it 4,300. He's 42 and like 79. So 4,300 passing yards, 39 touchdowns. Does have a bit more of an interception problem. He's throwing 15 of those, but that's still, I mean, that's better numbers than what Allen's got, minus the interceptions. Darnold, 4,100 passing yards and 35 touchdowns. Heck, I mean, Jared Goff even got, 300 more passing yards than Josh Allen and 33 touchdowns. So that's 5 more TDs.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking at, the rushing totals for those guys right now. Like Allen obviously is going to have more just in terms of like his rushing touchdowns, but a lot of those are just coming on quarterback sneaks. They're not like a ton of long touchdown runs. He had that clutch one against the Chiefs that helped them win that game. But I mean, like you look at like versus Lamar Jackson's touchdown runs, definitely some more distance. I think on his Allen, a lot of it's kind of like the Jalen Hurts thing when he won it that one year, where it's like, I mean, yeah, he's got a lot of touchdowns. A lot of those rushing ones are just coming on QB sneaks because he's a giant quarterback that's super strong, and you just shove him into the end zone, and
Yeah,
that's pretty
the
much
offensive coordinators
Yeah, pretty
are
much
smart enough to just scheme for their guy to get easy
impossible to
plays,
stop.
and it's impossible to stop. They beat the Chiefs with it, going for it late in the game, just ran it with Josh Allen, and they scored the game-winning touchdown. I mean,
And so, unfortunately for these two guys, I don't think either of them are going to be able to win MVP because they're not quarterbacks. So it's like now the question is, who's offensive player of the year? Jamar Chase with his 1,600 receiving yards, 16 touchdowns, caught
Saquon
117 touchdowns. So Jamar Chase looking like he's going to win the Triple Crown, or Saquon Barkley could set the NFL record. He's 100 yards away from tying the record. He needs 101 yards to break the single season rushing record. He's got 2,005 rushing yards. He's averaging nearly 6 yards a carry and 13 touchdowns on the season. 17 big runs, which is a run going for 10 or more yards with a long of 82.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
No, long of 72, my bad. He's picked up 82 first downs.
Hey.
Yeah. So who's your offensive player of the year? Who's your MVP?
Saquon Barkley.
I mean, Saquon is going to be the offensive player of the year.
I think he has
MVP
to.
is Josh Allen, just because of the parameters that we talked about. It's just
I think
what it
it's
is.
already
Like the
set,
MVP
yeah.
award,
It's
it
already
just doesn't. It just every year it just doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't.
It just goes to like the best quarterback on one of the best teams.
Or somebody who has a quarterback to touchdown interception. That's all Lamar's done. You know what I mean? Like I've never really seen. I said a long time ago, people call me crazy. You can call me crazy if you want. Josh Allen's the only quarterback from his draft class that's going to win a Super Bowl. He's that kind of quarterback that is a true difference maker passing and running and can set up an offense. That's why I just think he's going to be, because he has absolutely no, if he had any type, he doesn't even have Zay Flowers on his team. Like, what are we talking about?
That's
And
right.
I don't go off for rookies. Like, I've seen 1.5 million, 2 trillion rookies go off the rookie year. Next year, trash. Not trying to hear it.
Yeah, out of the league in 4 years.
Doesn't even matter.
I wouldn't
Wide
even say
receiver,
Keon
D-
Coleman's going off too.
Yeah, it is what it is. So
I mean,
we'll see.
that's fair enough though. You can make that argument for Josh Allen.
It's like, Derrick Henry there. Like, I mean, what are we talking?
Definitely a better
You
back
know,
than James Cook.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll
like,
concede that. I
It's
think
just a
Henry's better
solid
than
team
Cook.
with a decent, like, is their defense all that great? No.
And we've seen him fail in some big moments.
You know what I mean? He is a true, what the definition would be. I mean, say the argument that we have for Joe Burrow is the same argument for Josh Allen. They have a backup quarterback. They have 4 wins. Who are they beating?
That's right. They're
They ain't
back
beating
up.
the Lions with a backup quarterback.
I mean, I don't
They ain't
even
beating
know.
the Kansas City Chiefs that they beat.
I think the Bengals actually. Just thinking about the weapons they have.
Yeah.
The Bengals might actually be able to like scrape together 6-7
Dude,
wins.
If the Bengals
against some
play
bad
the Bills,
teams.
the Bengals are winning.
Yeah. Well, I think Burrow's the best quarterback in the league right now. You're just watching how he plays.
I don't know who they got over there that's in coverage of Jamar Chase in Buffalo.
Oh no,
Oh, nobody.
definitely not.
You know what I mean?
They want Denver. in
Most
the
valuable
playoffs.
player to
Buffalo
the
doesn't-
team.
Underrated thing. They have no pass rush. Have they had a sack in their last 3 games?
Yeah, they got a few.
You got a few.
I mean,
Only a couple.
But their pass rush, it just disappears. I just don't see it. I do think Buffalo can go to the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs. I think that AFC Championship game could be Buffalo versus Baltimore. Battle of the
I
Bees.
want it to be.
I would
I
love
hope
that.
so.
That,
Will
that
it
would
be,
be
caveman?
I
Will it be?
that would be
I can't say that yet, but I hope it is.
that would feed families if that was our AFC Championship matchup, man. Just
It'd be
nobody
bad.
wants to watch the Chiefs again, bro.
I do have a Bills AFC ticket, so all I need them to do is
You
win
might
the
be a little
championship.
biased.
I might be a little biased
All
there. I also have a Bengals one that's probably not going to win now.
I do want to hear
I
from
have a
people
Bengals division
watching.
ticket that I already lost, obviously.
Who's your MVP?
Yeah.
Who's your offensive player of the year? I'm trying to look at what the Bills' sack numbers are. They
My
are
MVP is Kalen Saunders.
they're kind of like in the middle of the pack. They have 38. So
That's not that good.
Yeah.
Like, is that something? Excuse me. Is that something that
The Ravens have 52, so that's definitely a better
Oh,
defense
geez.
there.
perfect
Yeah.
example? So, like, are they going to be a team that defensively, when you have to travel? I don't know, man. Like, playoffs are different. Whether you're at home, whether you're on the road, you got to get pressure on the quarterback. And if you can't get pressure with your 4-man pass rush, and you got to consistently blitz, Josh Allen. He's shown what he can do. Same thing with Lamar Jackson. You know what shuts down Lamar Jackson when you get that pass rush and you can have that coverage in the back end. Lamar doesn't really do all that much.
The
I just
Bills
don't
are
think
pretty good at
Buffalo-
generating takeaways. They're third in interceptions this year. I don't
They
see
are.
I don't see fumbles on here. So I mean, I guess he has that where they do get him the ball back a lot.
But how much is that going to be regular? I mean, you know,
Their
guys that don't cough
defense
the ball
does
up like that.
give up a lot of yards.
I just think it's wide
Same
open,
with the
man.
Bengals.
I really
It
do
is.
with the Bills. Like AFC's wild, man. Like that's what I mean. Like, why can't the Pittsburgh Steelers like just put together a couple of games? I just don't see it. Like,
Yeah.
who do they like? And really, like
my
Baltimore
reason
too.
is-
They've choked how many games? All these guys. Oh my gosh, Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP, like losing record in the playoffs.
They do.
Only been to one AFC championship.
They do
game
choke in
and
big
got
games.
blown out. Not even a fair fight.
I wouldn't say losing 17-10 is getting blown out,
Yeah,
but they certainly
lost that
didn't
game
look
in the
good.
First quarter.
Yeah, they didn't
That
look
game
good.
was over at halftime.
It wouldn't have been if Zay Flowers could have held on to the freaking football and scored the touchdown instead
Yeah.
of fumbling out
There's
the back of the
always
end zone.
that, like, oh, it's 2 plays here, it's this, it's that. Like, we had a lead with 5 minutes left, and we had no shot at winning. Packers versus the 49ers. We had the lead with 5 minutes left. Game was over. We just didn't know it yet. That happens all the time in the playoffs.
Yeah. true.
Houston Texans had a double-digit lead at halftime against the Kansas City Chiefs, and everybody and their mom knew Houston was going to lose.
Yeah, I had no confidence that Houston was hanging on to that.
Bill
There's
O'Brien,
No chance.
what are we talking about?
There's no chance.
I don't care. Like the playoffs are so much. It's not even. It's like going from like Madden on rookie to like Madden on Madden mode. It's
all
You get
not
to the-
even the same
you
game.
Get to the All Madden, the Hall of Fame.
You know,
difficulty.
there's a game script that these coaches use where we're going to call the game this way. This is our game plan. We're going to stick to it. Playoffs, game plan doesn't work. Guess what? They chuck it out the freaking window in the first 5 plays. And it just sort of becomes, all right, who's the weakest link? And we're just going to attack that person.
Yeah.
Who can you
That's
go after?
all it comes down to. Every year, my entire life, that's what it's only been. You know, and like you see Tom Brady when he's calling games, it's week 7. He's talking about, well, I don't know if that's going to work in the playoffs. Talking about Philly, and they're up 35 because their offensive.
I mean,
like,
he knows.
He knows,
who has a
dude.
better playoff winning record than Tom Brady.
You know what I mean? He's like, hey, when Jalen Hurts gets in this situation, if they see that he's going to do this in this situation in the playoffs, guess what? You're going to lose a game that you should win because you're just not going to be able to do what you need to do.
Not going to be able to get away with that crap.
Me versus you, who's going to win? You know what I mean?
That's a lot of what
Matchup
it's
really
all
comes
just
down to.
attacking. It's all just attacking your flaws. It's really not.
Oh, you're running this front? Throw out every film of tape that we've watched. You're running this front. We're just
Yeah.
going to do this because this is how we defeat it.
Yeah, and it's
All
really it throw away your team's strengths. It's all about hiding your flaws and exploiting.
Yeah,
Make sure you have the other team's flaws
that's it.
wide out in the open.
What have they not done? Or put like when a coach is like prone to like choke, like game management, right? Put them in a position to make that choice.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like if you're the Falcons, like boy, you don't want Raheem Morris doing your clock management here.
You
that was-
if the Vikings get into one of these games where Sam Darnold's under pressure and he's got to make a throw, are you confident in Sam Darnold?
That's
are you
why.
more confident in Sam Darnold or are you more confident in Jordan Love making a deep throw to win you a game?
That's why I don't have a lot of confidence in
even
the
think it's a
Vikings in the
debate.
playoffs because they live on
True.
the edge. They live in 1-score games
They do.
all season
They do.
long. And here's the thing: is you can get like
Your
if you're
luck ran out in 27.
if you're a good team, like you can be a good team and like
You can have a great record.
live on the edge in the
Great
regular
record.
season.
Yeah.
But like if that's what you're going to do all regular season, that means that you're against some worse teams that you should be crushing. You're putting things on film that can be exploited, and then you're going to
Yeah.
come up against a contender in the playoffs
or a
in
team that has nothing to lose.
yeah, in a totally different situation. And that's all that living on the edge and being in 1-score games. It can come crumbling down because
Yeah.
you've been putting flaws on film all season. You got to have some solid dominating wins.
Like, you know,
In
you only
2007, when the New York Giants beat the undefeated New England Patriots, right? Tom Coughlin right after the Super Bowl post game press conference, he said the words that will always ring in my head forever. He said the regular season is only regular. The only season that matters is the postseason. Both teams
Yes,
started
sir.
with an 0-0 record. We had a defense. They had an offense. Who wins? You know, and since then, I've always sort of like looked at that going from regular season. They always, you know, there are teams that do. Philadelphia, when they went to the Super Bowl against Kansas City, they ran the regular season, went in the playoffs, took that next step, made the Super Bowl. Now look at them again. Like, okay, you lose, you know, readjust your team. Obviously, get Saquon. Thank you, New York Giants.
that'll help you a
Right
lot.
back
That'll help you
into a
lot.
run. You know what I mean? So taking the steps forward, there are teams that do that. Detroit Lions, etc. If you have now Detroit Lions decimated by injuries, will that defense travel? You got, you know, Kendall Valdor is your number one DB from where? Drum roll, please. The Chicago Bears.
Oh, that's
Don't know if you know this.
Done.
Who's that guy covering? We're gonna throw it to him.
yeah.
Great
Right.
record, good team, good coaching. I like Jared Goff.
I mean, think about the
Well,
guys he's going to have to cover, like Mike Evans
know.
potentially, AJ
I'll
Brown,
give somebody 8-1 for the
Justin Jefferson.
Detroit Lions to win the Super Bowl right now.
Cooper Cup, Puka
10
Nacua.
I'm not taking that against
10-1. You taking the Detroit Lions? I'll give you $100. You got to give me 20 if the Detroit Lions win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I
No.
can't. I just
Zero
can't do
chance,
it. I
right?
just can't.
Okay.
They
So-
just don't like. They're
You
just.
know,
It's too late. Maybe
the
earlier in the
defense is-
season
Yeah,
we could put this up like realistically,
Earlier in
but
the
not
season
now.
doesn't matter. The only thing that
Exactly.
matters, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like that's why
Exactly.
I love this time of year, dude, because it's
perfect.
like bomb record, great team. Minnesota Vikings can't take nothing away from them. Beat us twice. We've lost to the Lions twice, Vikings twice, and the Eagles. Oh my. Right? When it comes down to it and you see some of the way that the gameplay, if you don't get out coached, you really have it. Anybody can beat anybody in the playoffs. If you have a coach that makes an idiotic mistake and doesn't understand, you know, when to call a timeout or, you know, challenge a play and sort of use that as an extra timeout. I don't know, man. Like I don't care how great your team is,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
I just don't trust
I-
your coach and quarterback, dude. Are you in lockstep? You know, does your quarterback play with how aggressive the coach can be or how conservative the coach can be? So I think the Packers are in a weird situation right now because Jordan Love, cut it loose. You got to let the guy. We're playing with our hands tied behind our back. And you have a coach.
Yeah,
who's-
Love just wants to let it rip.
He wants to let it. And when he gets consistent, it's like, there's nobody going to stop this guy. You know what I mean? He, in the last 3 minutes of the game, he like threw for more yards than he did the first 3 quarters of the game. You know, and then you have a coach who's trying to be conservative and hold the reins back, but you have a team that just wants to be let off the leash.
I don't know if
Doesn't work in the playoffs.
it's kind of weird.
It
Like
doesn't.
I don't know if
Not
LaFleur
ever.
trusts
Gotta let it
Love
go.
just yet because like it does. It seems like he
You
doesn't.
trusted him last year, and it's like, look how that played out.
Right.
And now we're just sort of like, no, we got the reins.
Is he like still holding on to that like late
Oh.
pick that he threw in the
I
Niners
think-
game?
No, I think he's still holding on to the fact that he wants it to be this really scripted out game flow manager style offense where he's having to play in structure. Don't get out of structure. Don't extend the play. Jordan Love is a freak athlete who can use his legs.
Let them get off
He-
schedule, man.
Let him just step up in the pocket, escape out to the right or left,
I mean, like,
and
look,
make a throw. Have these guys cover more than 3 seconds, and they're going to get torched.
I mean, look at the formula. That's what concerned me about the Lions with losing to Montgomery. Their defense is really banged up, and they don't have a good pass rushes. It's to lean on is like Goff is a pocket passer, but like the best teams that are winning games, like they got guys like Mahomes, like Allen,
They
like
can extend the
Jackson
play,
that can extend. They can move around, and it's when it gets off schedule and the defense
and they shut
has to
down
cover
the-
for a long time.
Yeah.
Like those guys can turn like a play that should be over in like 2 seconds into a
Yeah.
7-second play.
Right.
And all of a sudden something that like most other quarterbacks would end up being like an incomplete pass or a sack, they turn into a 30-40 yard game.
Right.
And it just
Or they
completely
use their
flips the
legs
game.
on 3rd and 8. It's all covered up, and they're sending the blitz, and you step out and you see these guys step up and out of the pocket, and they rush for 15. Why isn't Jordan doing that?
Yep. Good
You
tell
know,
you, man.
you know what I mean? So, like, if your coach and quarterback aren't in lockstep with how your
Yeah.
team is playing, you're just not going to win. I thought going in the playoffs we were playing the right way, and then after this Minnesota Vikings game, I just have no idea. You know what I mean?
Sometimes teams
And
do
they're-
this
and we're
where
a dangerous team. It's like, bro, like Jordan Love can freaking sling the football, and if you have no defense, if your secondary it has like a weakness in it, he's going to find it.
I will say something I do think that is really
You
important
know.
is like you got to get a good win. I would prefer to stack a couple of 2 wins. That's what makes me nervous about the Broncos is that we've lost 2 in a row, even if we beat the Chiefs. Like you kind of want like to be taking a little bit of
Going to-
momentum into the playoffs. I
Yeah.
always teams that limp in or just barely sneak in.
That's
It's
when
tough.
you get
Yeah.
It's
the
tough. I
Dolphins
mean,
last
sometimes
year,
they just
going
get
to
like
Arrowhead, getting
they just
beat.
get punched in the mouth round 1.
And I do like being a road warrior to start the playoffs, especially as a wild card, because you win those teams are always the most dangerous, man. Like you win a road playoff game, you get some momentum, like, oh, we won a game we shouldn't. Why can't we go to the Super Bowl? We're only
Yeah.
2 away now.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Makes it way easier.
All right. Drop some
easier for
playoff
this team.
predictions. What are you guys looking for? What's
I think it's Bills,
everybody?
Eagles, brother.
Yeah. What's everybody's predictions for the Super Bowl
think it's
round
Bills,
of the
Eagles.
playoffs?
Bills,
Let us
Eagles,
know.
Super Bowl watch party
Yeah.
until the final whistle.
I'm about it. That
not
would
a
be
bad
that'd be a
prediction.
fantastic Super Bowl. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie.
yeah.
I'd love that.
That'd be a battle of wills right there, dude.
That's one I want.
The probable MVP versus the fan
Should be
MVP. Yeah.
That's one I want to see.
Like Saquon.
All right.
To me, it should be Burrow and Saquon.
Yeah. Well, guys, we got about 45 minutes left. That means it's time for top plays,
Top plays.
of the week.
Clock winding down, puts up a 3. Bang! Here's a one-man wrecking crew. This is caught! Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable!
It's great. We're gonna start off on the college slate, boys.
Let's start it. There's some
Do
big
it.
plays in the bowl games here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Big ones. We got NIU. Shout out NIU beating Notre Dame and then winning a bowl game. Shout out to that coach. Nebraska, man.
Had
One
a
of my
great
best
year.
bets that I laid it with Will Compton and the fighting Nebraska Cornhuskers. Let's check out this top play from Nebraska in their bowl game.
He can be, but this is a game that he knows can set him up for next season. To the air for the first time and a one-handed catch by Jamal Banks. The Wake Forest transfer.
In some bad weather, making that play, stepping up
Yeah.
for your boys, winning a 15-10 game in the slop against Boston College. That was definitely a catalyst to get down there and score pretty much like their only touchdown of that game. Really.
Yeah, that was slow moving. Not a lot of offense in that one.
Yeah, I mean you're fighting through the mud there. I mean everybody's moving slow.
From one game that had no offense to the game that had all the offense. Shout out
Freaking
Pop-Tart Bowl, dude.
Yeah,
Doing
What an
it
experience! That's my new favorite.
It
bowl
really
game.
is.
I'm really a fan of
the
that. bowl
giant
game
Pop
record.
Tart costume.
Dude.
Yeah, dude.
The strawberry Pop Tart coming back from the dead, like its
Dead?
corpse
Yeah.
was hanging out in the empty
To beat
rows.
the freaking the brown sugar. I mean, brown sugar's still the goat, right?
No,
I
I'm a
think
s'mores. I'm a s'mores enjoyer. of the
Yeah,
Pop-Tart.
you're a-
The brown
Yes.
sugar cinnamon's just the
Bro-
OG.
Dude, you toast
man.
that thing, brother. Put some. Bro, I'm telling you. I don't know if you guys are young enough. Well, maybe you guys saw the TikTok because you toast it, put a little melted butter on that Pop Tart, brother.
I've never tried
telling
that
you,
before. I have
The
seen
melted,
it.
bro. The melted butter on the Pop Tart, bro. It's a game changer.
Okay, I'll
It's
have to
game
try
changer.
that.
All right,
Let's check out this
go
top play
Try
from the
that.
Pop Tart Bowl.
to the final whistle cooking classes.
That's right.
Oh, no sound. I'll narrate it for us.
Oh yeah.
75-yard rushing touchdown. He's at the
Look at him
the
go.
50-yard line. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He could go. He's pointing to his boy. That's a
Pointing
flag.
to his
We can't.
boy.
They're high five in midair.
He's pointing back at
75-yard
the
rushing
guy. Oh
touchdown
man.
for the Miami Hurricanes.
Hey, you know what? Now shout out letting them play. You know
yeah,
what?
shout
Not
out
throwing
letting
that
them play.
flag.
That's true. That's a good point. We want him to play on the till
Give
the
it to
final
him.
whistle.
That
Yeah.
has no audio because this TikTok sound was a little. It didn't match the play at all. So
Mhm.
and
You just
our
clipped it.
commentary was better.
There you go.
Yeah.
I
way
think
better.
our commentary
There
was
you go.
better.
Way
I always try to find ones with the actual play-by-play call. But
You
man,
don't
like,
always get it.
like sometimes
you're
they
not
just like
yeah.
you like you can try like typing in word for word what happened on the play, and it's like here's
Still
a
an
video
edit.
from 2021 that'll. And I'm like, I'm not looking for this. I'm trying to look for what just happened. Come on, guys. So you or the only one you get is like with music. You're like, all right, well,
Yeah.
this is what we're doing.
Well, shout out Northern Illinois University from absolutely being one of the biggest jokes in the history of college football. Getting this like
Terrible.
high school football coach from like middle of Chicago to like come be the NIU coach. And what a year they've had. Bowl win, and then obviously the upset over Notre Dame in Notre Dame. Talk about a pay raise. He got a $700,000 bonus.
Oh yeah.
For winning double-digit games and the bowl game. Shout out that guy. Proud of that coach. NIU scoring touchdowns. Here's the snag.
Holst taking a shot, miscommunication. How'd he do it? The safety over the top. Josh Holst puts it to where only Grayson Barnes can get. Thomas Hammock said his walk-on quarterback has the it factor. Plays like that.
Live a dream, young fella. What a
I don't know what the
snag.
safety was like thinking there. Like he just kind of
underplayed it.
Stuck his hands out. I think he just really thought that ball was going to get overthrown, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Well, I'm not picking up a foul here. Like I'll just like lightly put my hands out, stop him from going back to get that." Nah, he didn't do enough.
Hey, boys, I don't want anybody to be alarmed. Nobody should show this play to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh yeah.
Do
Keep
not
it away
show this
from him.
play. Keep it away.
Keep it
from-
away.
This could end the NFL, guys.
This could break the NFL.
Being mishandled. They're going to go right back to it. And now they slip it, and Raymond's going to score.
The fake tush.
Walk
push.
Fake tush push and just a normal handoff.
They snapped it directly
They
to him.
snapped it directly. Oh,
No, they did. The quarterback took it, and then he
handed it back.
Oh.
he pinned it
Oh,
on his
man.
butt.
Like a
That's
reverse
crazy.
handoff. Like
Yeah.
a reverse
Okay.
handoff.
Like he's
That's
going into the
freaking
pile
crazy.
and just handed it behind him to the running back. Genius
yeah.
play call there.
Genius
Break
play
it out
call.
in the bowl game, man. Best
Yeah,
time
why
to
not?
use it.
Why not?
Hey boys,
Excuse
it's always one of my favorite things when we get animals on the field.
Oh, love it. Yeah.
Like I've seen a cat at a baseball game that just like
remember
broke
th-
out into carnage, dude. Like,
Remember the Monday Night Football cat?
He
Like,
was right.
oh, was that in Tampa too?
No, that was in New York, I think. It was between
Was
the
it New York?
Cowboys and the Giants.
Oh, that's right.
And,
that's
like,
right,
they had-
life.
Somebody, I don't know, was it Kevin Hart? Somebody was like commentating the cat
when
running
it was
around
like
the
a
field.
and he got like
He's
close
like-
to the end zone. He started narrating the touchdown. The fans wanted the
Yeah.
touchdown, started cheering for it. Yeah, that was funny. But we had a duck on the field in Tampa, and yeah, chaos broke out. Let's check this out.
Cinema broke
Yeah,
out.
pure
is what
cinema.
happened.
There is a bird on the field. Quack, quack. And Hacker has it blocked. Tampa Bay's got it. Scoop and score. J.J. Russell. Buccaneers doing it from all angles.
Dude, he was next
I
to the
know.
return man.
Yeah, I mean,
That would have been interesting. Yeah.
that's a dead duck on the field.
So
bro.
whoever blocked Troy Shoyan Shinka kind of saved that duck's life blocking
Yeah.
that punt. So
Humanitarian. out
number
here.
9
Look
on the
at that.
Bucks, he is a hero.
Yeah.
He saved the Ducks' life and came up with a big special teams play in a game where Tampa Bay just rolled.
Yeah.
Baker, dude,
They did.
5 touchdowns and like 360 passing yards.
They
Guy
cared
was
so little about that
unstoppable.
game. The duck was on the broadcast so long. You missed the snap and almost missed the punt
almost
block.
bit the punt block.
You nearly missed the actual play because the broadcast has their 8K quality camera on a duck.
I love.
every
I
little
just love
detail
the
of
they're
that
keeping
bird.
on the they're keeping it on the duck and then they cut back to a blocked punt. It just
Just all
great.
chaos. is
football
breaking
cinema
loose.
right
It
there.
is cinema, dude. It's the best. Like coming to the last games of the week, you just don't know. Like something always, every year, something like that happens. Where it's like, how, what? And like in a meeting, like, it's a blowout. And that this captures the attention of national, you know what I mean? It's kind of
Yeah.
cool. I like it. We got another fake punt.
Oh, this one's sick.
Remember Jackson, what he did the last time he tried to return a punt. It's a fake. Pass wide open. Caught. Johnson, touchdown. Malcolm Johnson was wide open on the fake.
Yeah, so they dressed up their third string quarterback, made him look like a punter. You know, they put him in but he was their third string quarterback.
So
Oh
he could
my
still throw
God.
it.
And so they ran him out to
That's
run that
so
fake punt. They
smart.
came into that game
That's
with
right.
that plan
That's cool.
that they were going to throw a fake
That was
punt.
a great play. I want to watch that again.
Let's do it.
Remember Jackson, what he did the last time he tried to return a punt. It's a fake. Pass wide open. Caught. Johnson, touchdown. Malcolm Johnson was wide open on the fake.
Shout
I
out
love
Bowling
busting
Green.
out for the bowl game. I love it when a coach carries. He's like, "We're gonna do some crazy stuff. We're gonna do some fun plays. A fake tush push. We're gonna disguise our third string QB as a punter."
Lot
Because
of-
really, all they did is they just had him wear like the knee high white socks,
yeah,
and that I don't think
Yeah.
they really did too much
he
else.
did
for
sell
him.
it on the lead up for the actual punt though.
Yeah, he kind of
You
stepped
know, like how
into
you
it.
hold your foot, and getting ready to like boom it.
Love,
It would have
love
been a
everything
short
about
punt.
amazing
One day
trick
he's got to
play.
just kick straight up in the air.
Yeah.
They were on like the 30-yard line. The other team's 30.
Nope. Dropped a dime.
Dropped a
Touchdown.
dime.
Bowling Green. They still lose that bowl game, but it's okay. We got the special teams early in the show, and
We're all
Yep.
about it.
I love
Love
the
it.
special teams plays. Pitt blocked the field goal, scored a touchdown. Let's check this out.
On to make it a 7-point lead for Toledo, and it's blocked. Pitt is running away with it. And they're going to take it all the way to the house. Whoa.
Extra 2-point run back.
That's
You don't
right.
get to see it all that often,
That's right.
so it's always fun when that
Yeah.
happens.
Point spreads are abound in that one. That could have been messed somebody up.
Yeah.
But
What's crazy is that
46-48.
it doesn't even matter. Toledo ends up winning by 2 points
Yeah.
in the 6th overtime.
Darius Davis with a diving catch. Let's check this one.
This guy's
was
been
a-
making some plays.
Oh, yeah.
Has been making
This
some
dude.
plays. He's been on here. Maybe I think this is his second time.
Yeah.
He
He was on like last week, but that was more because of the Herbert throw.
Herbert.
But this is
Yeah.
like more ham on
this is a
catch.
great catch.
Herbert looking down the left side. He's got Davis, and he's got it for a touchdown.
And the Chargers clinch a playoff spot in this year's NFL playoffs. I wonder if the Chicago Bears are regretting not giving John Harbaugh the bag out of Michigan.
They're regretting not giving
But
a lot
they
of people
can't
the
because
bag.
their team president is Kevin Warren, who tried to sue and ban John Harbaugh from Michigan during the COVID process. So guess who didn't want to show up for his interview there? Shout out John Harbaugh. Makes the NFL playoffs in his first year as
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you guys saw the really
LA
funny
Chargers
stat
coach.
from that Chargers game. So the Patriots traded the pick that the Chargers used to draft Lad McConkey. They traded back a few spots and got an extra 4th round, I think. And with that, they took Jalen Polk and then some guy that hasn't even caught a pass all season. In that game, Lad McConkey had more receiving yards than those two guys have had all year combined.
Oh, man.
That's brutal.
That's horrible.
That's awful.
That is freaking terrible.
Some organizations, man, it's so important from top to bottom. Like, how did that go so wrong?
That's bad. That's bad.
Jalen Polk, really the only Washington wide receiver not having a successful year. Jalen
Yeah.
McMillan starting to show out for the Bucks. Roma
Yeah.
Dunze's has a couple of big games.
He plays like a 40-year-old in like a 20-year-old body. You guys watch him out there? Have you guys watched any Bear? I wouldn't blame you if you haven't.
Not much.
I'm going to be honest. I've
It's
checked out the
kinda
Bears
funny.
games pretty early most of the
It's
time.
kind of funny watching him waddle like a duck back to the huddle, dude. He runs like he has a hemorrhoid.
Maybe he does.
I'm not lying.
Maybe he's a warrior. He's
Dude,
playing
you-
through the role.
warrior
Dude.
spirit.
I know you're not. This is gonna go to next season. I already know because I'm gonna make fun of it, dude. The Bears fans troll Roma Dunze, and he's their best offensive player.
Kind of is. Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
They've already. I got this from Bears Twitter. He's a 42-year-old wide receiver playing in a 25-year-old body. Because when he hits the ground, he's always like grabbing at something, slow to get up. Like a knee hits the ground, like when you dive for a ball or whatever, like your knees hit the ground first, and then you fall on like on your side. Like he's out for 2-3 plays. Like he doesn't just like he runs a long route. Sometimes they go off the sideline, rest, get back. They miss like one play. He'll be out for an entire series.
Jeez.
Like he just won't. Like Keenan Allen has played more snaps at 40 than Roma Dunze has. Make sense.
I don't think Keenan Allen's technically 40, but yeah, I see
He's
what you're
close
saying.
enough.
Football, like, it was like Buda Baker. He's been in the league since I was in high school. He's only 27 years old. But he's been in the league so long, being a young man's, game, you're basically 40 years old.
Essentially,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? With all the hits and
Gotcha.
wear and tear on your body.
Absolutely. You're like, it's absolute
Post
miracle. this guy-
27, you're on
So-
your way to be replaced. at most positions outside
That's
of
kind of true.
quarterback,
Yeah.
or like an elite wide receiver. But you know who's insane, dude? You know who's not going anywhere for a long time? Lamar Jackson.
Nope.
Yes, sir.
Certified.
Not at all.
Certified
Not at all.
dog. First ballot Hall of Famer, I'd probably say. Breaking Michael Vick's rushing record in the NFL.
Yeah, probably.
Which
I
is
think what might
insane
hurt
because
him
Michael
is
Vick didn't play for 4 years in the league. So
he's going to need some more postseason success to maybe help the first ballot case. But I
would
definitely
agree with
see.
that.
I could definitely see him in the Hall of
He's
Fame.
on a trajectory.
Yeah,
He's
Good
on a trajectory.
trajectory to get
he's
there.
still got a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
career ahead of him.
We have a couple Lamar Jackson plays. This is one of the first of a couple that we're going to show you today. Check this out.
Play action for Jackson. Pump. Jackson steps on the brakes. Extending the play. Throws end zone. Touchdown. Isaiah Likely. Lamar Jackson making magic in H-Town.
Listen, we came on to the broadcast saying, how do you stop them? What do you try to take away?
That was a good play by Likely and Lamar there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Extending
Dude,
the play.
that was the Neil
Getting
Hunter
open.
chasing Lamar Jackson. That is an all-pro
All-pro.
pass rusher.
Yeah.
Lamar's just toying with him before throwing like some fade away no look pass to the end zone.
I
Like-
saw that same play week 1, and Isaiah Likely's foot was out of bounds. So they kind of perfected that. The rollout right,
Yeah.
dance through
Yeah.
pressure, and just lob one up there.
Get it up there, dude.
He
I mean,
put it right on the money.
You look at that
time.
throw, like Lamar, he's like falling back. His feet aren't planted at all. I mean, that's all in the arm, right
That
there.
is
Like,
all arm strength.
like he's leaning back like this and throwing it for base, not even close to being pointed there.
A few weeks earlier, he rolled out right, stiff arm Trey Hendrickson, and threw a touchdown pass.
Yeah,
too.
after the snap got
Yeah.
fumbled.
I
guys-
fumbled the snap, stiff armed a D end, and then threw a touchdown pass.
That's great.
I don't even know
That dude's just
How you're-
nuts.
how you're able to do that.
A
That's
connection that
Madden.
Lamar's had his whole career. Mark Andrews.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what was going on with that connection earlier on in the season, though.
Yeah, it's back
Yeah,
though.
it
It came
was-
back.
It's
It
definitely
came back at the right time, that's for sure. Lamar to
Perfect
Mark
timing.
Andrews. Let's watch it.
Jackson on 2nd and 10. Avoids the sack. Now Jackson looking to run, looking to throw, looking to connect. Andrews on the run, down the sideline. Andrews accelerates inside the red zone. Kalen Bullock, full sprint to the tight end. What a play to extend it by Jackson.
So Miles Bryant, number 27, comes off the slot and actually does a nice.
Even Mark couldn't believe it. He was like, "What the heck just happened?"
Yeah,
I want to see him
He's
escape that
running
a sack one more time. Like, what the
That
hell
was
was that?
yeah.
Play-
That.
run that.
Thank
one
you for
back.
saying it. Just like
Play
what the
that one.
hell was that,
Because I mean, it looks like you have him dead to rights
bro?
here.
Just bring him down.
Right. Like, watch this.
Jackson on 2nd and 10, avoids the sack. Now Jackson looking to run, looking to throw, looking to connect. Andrews on the run, down the sideline. Andrews accelerates inside the red zone. Kalen Bullock, full sprint to the tight end. What a play.
Well,
That's
it's like
crazy, man.
he's so quick because I think most guys that DB would have just hit him in the stomach and wrapped him up. Lamar's got that reflex where he sees that coming, he jumps back. So now the DB's kind of missing him on the tackle. He only has an arm on him, and Lamar's like, "Get off of me!" Throws
Shoves
him off.
Uses his legs.
Forces the other guy that's coming around the edge, uses that defender to take out the other defender, and then
and steps up in the pocket to make the throw.
Yeah.
too.
Literally, dude.
But all it
Literally,
just
dude.
simultaneously. I don't.
Without
That's
thinking,
insane. Yeah, just in the moment.
just does it.
Just in the moment.
I
That's what
love
happens.
watching players when they're not thinking; they're just playing. It's so
Right.
it's like
he's one of those guys. He just can play off instinct.
Oh yeah.
He just knows.
don't try to handcuff. Don't try to handcuff some.
That's what
certain
that's
guys,
I
man.
gotta
Let
say
him
that's what
play
the
some
Ravens did a
football.
really good job from the moment they brought in Lamar. Like John Harbaugh said, we built our offense around his strengths. We wanted him to be able to use his legs
smart organization.
and just let him play football. Just let him be
Let him
Lamar
play some
Jackson.
ball.
It's kind of worked out.
Oh, he's a running back. We're gonna let him run, and he's gonna run all over you.
I remember
Break
they were
Michael Vick
trolling
record.
fans because they had Lamar Jackson on the jugs machines his rookie year, and they were like, "Oh, we should use this guy as a wide receiver." And I was in that camp. Fantasy, pure greed.
Yeah.
A lot of touchdowns being scored. You know what I mean? Like that would be
I was just
that would
thinking
be
about
an
it like that.
ATM machine for anytime touchdowns.
I was like the Steelers.
I'm greedy and selfish,
This
and I'm
year-
sorry, Lamar
Do you
Jackson.
remember when they had Justin Fields in practice lining up in kick return?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that was so funny.
That's great.
All right. Well,
They even had him in the Madden trailer taking a kickoff return.
Who the heck is Grant Calcaterra?
This
he was
guy,
like the third string tight end on the
third string
Eagles.
tight end on the Eagles.
He's
Yeah.
making
dude.
plays?
Check
Yeah,
this out right
that's
here.
Dude, we got an
Check
Amari
this out.
Cooper's touchdown. Oh, that's right. I saw that. All right, let's check out this Grant Calcaterra. Just because I've never heard of you,
Calcaterra.
you're gonna get a shout out. You get this top play shout out, buddy.
That's
Let's
right.
enjoy this top play.
Given time, happy feet in the pocket, winds up and throws it deep. Calcaterra! Circus catch! Grant Calcaterra, 34 yards.
All right, so there's a little bit of the
Was that Kenny Two Gloves?
That was
That was
Kenny.
Kenny Pickett.
That
Yeah,
was Kenny Two Gloves out there
Yep.
throwing somersaults.
bro.
over
He
himself.
apparently went into that game injured too because he was wearing a flak jacket.
Yeah, he had a rib injury.
and then
coming
still
into
just
it.
got abused. But dude, Calcaterra,
Before
what
I
an
forget,
adjustment
we're
there
add-
too.
Gonna add in that Kenny Pickett throw while we keep doing the rest of these.
Oh, yeah,
before
yeah.
I forget.
You keep going. We do have a not top play. We'll show that at the end though.
We have a fire punter celebration. I'm gonna check this play out.
Oh yeah, this is
we got a
the
couple coming
lone
up here
highlight
from-
for the Texans on Christmas.
They had their
Oh
punter
yeah, they had the
celebration.
punter celebration. Yeah, let's check this out.
All three phases have been impressive. And Sims this time will have another deep one from Townsend. It'll bounce at the one and die. What a job by the vet. Ross all the way down after he had the penalty on the last punt.
well, it's one of those cases where now it's on the 3.
I love a good punter celebration. Are you not entertained in Houston?
Oh, you
Ice
do
in the
my vein,
veins,
doing
yeah.
Ice in my veins.
Dude,
I
well, the
like
Ravens they accepted a penalty to make him re-punt that, and like after
Yeah, they
like they
got
caught the ball at the 8, and
8.
so they got worse field position because he
Yeah.
blasted a 70-yard punt
That was
Let's
great.
go.
for the brand here. We always gotta
Yeah.
shout
We
out our
are
punters.
Shout
for
out
the brand here,
punters.
dude, for sure. Probably one of the only top plays from the New Orleans Saints this year.
Dude, this was this is our
Same flea
second
flicker.
top play because we got another flea flicker.
And we had one
couple
from
weeks
the
ago.
Cowboys game. We had one from the Cowboys
Yeah,
game from
and
Alvin
with-
Kamara.
That's true. Yeah.
That was against the Commanders.
Let's check out this flea. I love flea flickers. Let's check out this flea flicker. Real quick.
Bucks in what could be a crucial game for Tampa Bay. Throwback from Miller to Rattler. Looking deep. Looking end zone. Foster Moreau touchdown. Trickery to the score.
I watched the replay back on that play. Moreau's like the third read on that. He had a guy on a 10-yard in that was butt naked open too, but he wanted to go for the end zone and just
Gotta-
chuck one
gotta
up.
Do
go
there.
for
that.
the
I
end
mean,
Why
your
not?
season's over.
Your season's
Why not?
Take a shot. I mean,
Throw the kitchen
you're
the
not,
home
sink
you're
out.
not
finale.
gonna bust this play out and then take a 10-yard completion.
Yeah,
what
no
are we
way.
talking about?
No way.
Go for broke. I don't care. So yeah, good on Rattler for going through his progressions and hitting it.
Somebody who definitely should have been on here way more, but just didn't simply because his team's trash and his quarterback is trash. Malik Neighbors.
Oh,
Guys,
yeah.
this guy is a weapon for the New York Giants.
Coming out party.
I think they
for
have
him.
something here with this kid. I know Brian Thomas Jr. been really the rookie quarterback or wide receiver that's
Fourth in the league in receiving.
you know,
yards,
I mean,
Brian
he's
Thomas
he's
Jr.
he's a dog. You know that I've been riding him the whole year, guys. But Malik Neighbors not really been able to show what he can really do in this offense. Kind of did yesterday. Let's see him showing speed here, boys.
Bobby now at the Commanders. Locke swings it out to Neighbors. 3rd down and 14. And Neighbors picks up a first down into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. 31 yards from Locke to Neighbors.
The New York Giants, it only took them till week 17 to realize, hey, maybe we should give Brian Thomas Jr. the football more.
Forward thought.
Hey,
It only
this-
took Drew Lock to do
Or
it.
not Malik Neighbors, I mean. Like, hey, maybe this guy that we dropped,
It's not such a bad
this top
idea.
5 draft pick we used, maybe we should try to give him the football a little bit more and see what he can do. oh wow, he's really fast, elusive, and can break tackles.
Oh,
Wow.
got us 2 touchdowns.
Crazy idea.
And the second touchdown that I'm getting ready to play here is probably better than that first one.
Oh yeah,
This one
is
is
by
dude. I mean,
far-
these are two
this kid's gonna be
This
a problem,
man-
I think, man.
two
Him and
professional
Cam Ward.
athletes. These are two professional football players in the NFL on defense, and he just made fools of here. What the heck?
Great. 2 set of downs for the Giants. Catch made by Neighbors. He breaks free. Neighbors down the sideline. He's going to take this all the way. 59 yards. His second touchdown today.
Can he just get the ball in the playmaker's hands? Find different.
He kind of reminds me of a younger, better Victor Cruz. You guys remember him? Little small, little
oh, yeah.
sticky
Salsa
guy?
man.
Dude,
Salsa.
I'm telling you, man. But with talent, you know, 'cause
Like Neighbors
Victor
is.
Cruz can
I
only
think
catch it.
Neighbors is bigger and can like
kind of
win
about the
those
same
50-50
size, bro.
balls.
I'd probably say Victor Cruz might be bigger.
Dude, Victor Cruz was like 5'4". What are we talking about?
No, he was kind of.
Well, I mean, he was
a
taller
little
than
bigger
that.
than
Played.
that,
He
but-
played outside.
He was just that deep ball guy.
He was a beast,
Freaking
bro.
Eli Manning would get sacked so hard that he was looking out of his ear hole, get up, looking through the ear hole, calling for the play, and then throw a deep ball to Victor Cruz the next down.
Hey, is it going to be a coming out party now that Kyle Pitts has a quarterback?
No.
Like Penix, man.
I mean,
played pretty good last night.
He had 1,000 yards his rookie year with Matt Ryan. He hasn't
Ooh.
done anything since.
We got a Kyle Pitts 4th and goal celebration here. I almost bet Kyle Pitts anytime touchdown.
Victor Cruz
Couldn't
is
hold
only
it.
6 foot. Oh wow, actually Neighbors is only 6 foot too. Shit, you were right, Jimmy.
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
Neighbors just looks bigger, but I guess
he
he.
probably
does.
he plays bigger
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
because Victor Cruz is just an out like. Back in
think-
those days with Tom Coughlin, their offense just wasn't set up for this modern era where guys moved around as much.
I think
you were an X,
Neighbors
you were
is-
a Y, or
I think
you were a
what-
Z.
Neighbors is lankier. That's what makes me like he's got longer arms and legs. Like Victor Cruz is more stocky.
Victor Cruz was undrafted. So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like it's Malik Neighbors definitely more talented, but his body type, his stupid, like, because Victor Cruz, 2 steps, he's gone. Like, he was at full speed with the ball in his hands, and it was good night, put the women and children to bed. So I just kind of see some similarities, but they're going to move him around a lot more instead of the rigid structure of Tom Coughlin and Eli Manning. Going to be some interesting movement there with Malik Neighbors going forward, especially with the quarterback position. They still need to shore that up.
It's gonna
But
be
a guy
fun.
who kind of is coming on along late with Penix as his quarterback, Kyle Pitts, scores a 4th and goal touchdown when they needed it to stay in this game. Let's check out this top play.
big.
Kyle Pitts on top plays? What?
Right. Dude.
I think if Pitts dropped that, he's in the USFL. The
Yeah.
Falcons.
The CFL.
Hey, buddy, our first round quarterback just threw a hose to you. You better catch this football, dude.
Dude,
He's heading out to Germany if he
Raheem
drops
Morris
that pass.
sold that game for Penix, dude. Use your timeouts. You don't get to keep them. Use your
Yeah.
freaking timeouts,
It's
Morris.
not a next game thing
Oh
where
my
you come
God.
in with 6.
He did it, dude. They
3 per
They had
half. 6
under
total.
a minute with 3 timeouts at the end of the first half, and then go into halftime with 2. End of the game situation with 2 timeouts, and then they go into overtime with a timeout. Use your
Even in-
timeouts, coach.
Even in overtime, like the Commanders were just walking down the field, burning all the clock. They're building all this momentum up for their offense. Like they were bound to score.
Dude, you
Do
hit,
something.
you hit a big play. You're in field goal range. Call the timeout, kid. Then just start getting some shorter plays drawn up so you can hit a quick one, run up and spike it, hit a quick one, run up and spike it, hit another quick one, and then call your timeout.
They
Then
could
you don't have to kick a 56-yard field goal with your noodle leg kicker because your normal guy's out.
I'll say this: Bijan looks like a weapon in that offense with Penix.
Yes, he does. It actually
does.
looks like they're going
Looks
to
like a
utilize
weapon.
him a little more.
They did kind of
Actually
he kind of
does.
struggled
Decent.
some more in the second half. It was a lot more first
be a
half
playoff.
success, but
I know the Broncos are a year ahead. Maybe next year Falcons take a step.
well,
man.
the Falcons They
need
were
to
supposed
adjust
to
their
be a
defense.
playoff team with Kirk Cousins coming in.
I guess
That was
Yeah.
supposed to make them,
I
a
guess they
threat.
should.
And
They're a year behind, but I mean, if you know that the Falcons suck like I do, then yeah, they're right on schedule.
I guess,
Three-
dude, Penix, he made some big time throws though.
He did, dude. He impressed me. He was under pressure
really
a
did.
lot. He kind of played like he wasn't really a rookie quarterback on the road. Playing like a rookie quarterback. Or were they at home? I think they were at home.
Sabrina saying some coaches' clock management has been awful this year.
Yep.
Looking back at the Bears on Thanksgiving too.
Could've said
Yeah,
that.
I mean, we've
Bears.
seen some.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Sabrina.
Rylan.
And I'll take all the Bears trolls. Thank you, Sabrina.
Yep.
Number one.
We've-
love to see that.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen like some clock management this season where I'm like, dude, I mean, I could like playing Madden. I have better clock management than this.
LaFleur's pissed me off this year too. With clock management.
Dude, Sean Payton.
He never uses his first half timeouts too. First half timeouts are just as important in the red zone as they are in the second half.
or the way like Sean Payton has like in some
true.
situations just given the ball back to a team without burning any time off the clock while we have a lead. I'm like, dude, why did we throw 3 straight passes that were incomplete? Now we're punting the ball back only up 3 with, and they still have multiple timeouts and we only took 14 seconds off the clock. Jesus Christ.
Well, one guy, speaking of Jesus Christ, the Denver Broncos were screaming this. Cortland Sutton with a great touchdown grab. Let's check out this top play.
Second down, goal to the end zone. Caught! Sutton, touchdown! Touchdown, Denver! And an extra
50-50 balls with Cortland Sutton are more like 90-10. Like,
and then speaking of balls, the nutsack on Bo Nix to
Oh, yeah.
throw this ball, bud.
Good point.
One of my top 5 passes of this season for sure from Bo Nix was that one deep down the middle in the Chiefs game, throwing a laser beam down the field, scores a touchdown.
Oh, against the Browns?
The Browns, yeah.
Yeah.
The Browns
That
game.
one was, oh my gosh.
Not
that was
to,
crazy.
and then to be able to top it, because that was like he read it out, stepped up, avoided pressure, dot. Same thing. And then how Mims caught this ball where he drops easy balls all the time. Wide open, clang, it'll clang right off his hands.
Yeah.
This one, double coverage, no big deal.
Got it this time.
Broncos do lose a heartbreaker, but
Got some highlights.
got some highlights, man. Bo Nix, the future is bright in Denver.
Get
Oh,
over the
yeah.
top of Sutton, Burden the block, and Nix will throw it. It is caught. Touchdown! Mims got the ball. Marvin Mims caught the ball.
Kevin
is-
Harlan also, no
Oh,
equal.
man.
There's no
There's
equal to
no
him.
equal.
Why is this man not the primetime voice play caller for every NFL? Like for
Like,
all the
nearly
big
every
games?
game. Yeah.
CBS got to be paying him a lot or something. Like, get this guy on Sunday Night Football. I love, no disrespect to Mike Tirico. Mike Tirico is fantastic. But you watch a game, a football or basketball game, and Kevin Harlan is on the
It's
call,
amazing.
It is.
and it gets exciting. There is just nobody that has a better, just more enthusiasm and excitement in how he calls it. I had to give the play-by-play
It's all
guy
good. It's all good.
some love there.
We got
Back to
10 minutes.
that Broncos or that Bo Nix throw. Yeah, that's his thing, man. Like, he just has to figure out a way to get settled, because you see throws like that, and it or he was like just perfectly on the money to that deep ball to Mims. He's got it there, but his problem is that he gets like too jumpy in games, and he'll miss these throws or get too excited. He's overthrowing or underthrowing it. If he can just get better at getting settled and being in rhythm, I mean, he is deadly accurate when he's on.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing we got to just work out with him, is getting him more settled down and like a little less jumpy with these throws, and like he'll miss some easy ones because
We
he's
got this in here, caveman.
HG sent him in.
Yeah,
HG sent him
Oh,
in.
we
I'm
talked-
sorry, man.
So Bo Nix,
Sorry.
incredible throw. I think Kenny Pickett though with the throw of the week right here, Jimmy. Let's just show it before we get to the rest of our top plays here.
They'll look to throw it again. Blitz is coming. Oh, what was that? Throws it into the ground and right up to Barkley. There's a
Yeah.
Oh,
What was that?
Put the
He
Looney Tunes sound
held on
effects
to.
in.
He wanted to pull the ball down, and like his momentum was going forward. He did a front flip midair and still threw the football.
The best throw in football.
Like that was like
history
some
right there.
Spider-Man shit right there, man.
Like I've seen guys like try to pump fake and then just lose the football. But like,
I just don't. Like
I've never
Jordan
seen somebody
Addison plays in here, Kate.
throw themselves onto the ground. To give Kenny Pickett some credit, he did throw a touchdown on the very next play.
He did.
So
He
give him credit there. But now, Jimmy, unhappy about this Jordan Addison play.
This was such a bum move, dude. Like
Was a great catch.
Anybody other than Javon Bullard, it's an interception. Like
It was the Odell Beckham
It's
double
so
move.
corny and cheesy. I hate it. And the fact it was a rookie that shouldn't even be on the field playing that this got happened to.
You know what? I thought I sent it in, but dude, somebody did literally get beat by like the big X the plug type of the big X the plug route where they just did this like really terrible chop at the line and then just kind of ran like straight.
Oh yeah,
and the
they burned him,
the
yeah.
cornerback got beat. Like,
it was a college game when that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's watch this Jordan Addison double move that should have never been a double move because if we pressured,
You can't tell Jimmy's still salty
it sucks.
about the
All right,
the Packers game.
let's watch this. I guess that's a top play.
Some pressure. Senses. Throws. Goes end zone. Caught! Touchdown Vikings. It's Addison.
Amen.
Lulled him to sleep.
It is. Right when he was about to make the move, Boyard is stepping in. He thought he was going to throw the little stick route. But
Bullard's
no.
like, I got this. I got the clamps. He's not going anywhere. Oh crap.
We
Yeah,
had
he's
two
like, oh,
guys
stick
just
route?
swing and miss on the guy on the sack. No, we're good. Russian 3.
I know you don't
around
want to
him.
give Sam Darnold any props, but his like presence in the pocket this year has been kind of great.
Because he's not being blitzed.
I mean, even when he does get pressure, he's able to slide really well. I've seen him make some pretty impressive like scramble throws. Think about that Atlanta game.
Atlanta?
Yeah, when they played Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Are they a playoff team?
They might be. Really? Don't
Somehow.
count them out.
Yeah, somehow, some way.
There's still
Dude,
a
I was
chance.
surprised to
They
see
need
this
help,
guy
but
was
there's
still in
still
the
chance.
league, though. Zach Ertz on the top plays?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot
and
he
then
was
this
even in
was
NFL. I thought he was still in Philly, just riding the bench.
This
Hanging
was
out.
a snag, dude.
Let's check it out.
Ridiculous.
He's the vet
Game winner?
presence.
This was the one, yeah, in overtime to win the game.
He's the vet presence.
Oh,
in
yeah. He's not in
Washington.
Arizona. He's in Washington.
Yep.
That's right. Okay.
It is Jaden Daniels end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Zach Ertz takes Washington into the playoffs.
What?
What? No, it wasn't.
It is Jaden Daniels end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Zach Ertz takes Washington into the playoffs.
In with the
But
paint.
the paint. Yeah. First time I saw it, I was like, no, that's the ground.
Well, when I
And then
watched it in
I
real
saw his-
speed, I was like, there's no way that ball didn't hit the ground. Like, because he caught
You
it.
almost hear the thud of
Right.
the
Yeah.
ball, but it's his hand. I saw the
He
glove.
landed
in
pretty loud. He
Yeah.
caught it just perfectly so that the ball didn't touch the ground, though.
I mean, that was a missile that Jaden Daniels threw in there. So, like, big time catch. Strong.
Here's
strong
another one.
hand.
That was on 4th and goal, too.
And Amari Cooper comes down with a big one, too.
This was
This
a
was a
pretty good
one-hander. He's
catch.
kind of being held. This was a good catch. Let's check this out, and then we'll get to our two top plays because I got the last one for Saquon.
Heaves it to the end zone. Oh, what a catch! Amari Cooper pulls it down for the touchdown.
That DB's got a hand in there, too. I mean, he
Yeah.
played that just about perfect, but
Yeah.
In a blowout, dude.
Cooper-
A-Rod gets
Cooper was
benched.
too strong.
So great. To
Did
see,
you?
dude.
Aaron Rodgers benched himself.
I
Did you
love
hear
Yep.
that?
I
Yep.
saw that. He was like, "It's 33-0. Maybe we should go to Tyrod here."
And then
Like,
they
yeah.
flip. And he's like, then they flip a screen pass for a touchdown.
Yeah, go screw yourself, A-Rod.
They were
Yeah,
walking
dude.
out. They were walking out to the game. One of the coaches had this giant boom box and they're blasting Gangster's
Yeah, they're playing
Paradise.
Gangster's Paradise.
Oh my
I
god!
seen that. I
And
seen
they
that.
lose by freaking 30.
Disrespecting Coolio's memory right there, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Are you
He
serious?
Come
was
on
the
now.
man.
Come on
Don't you
now.
play?
Thank you for knowing who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you a little bit more for that.
Don't you disrespect Coolio?
That's
Coming
messed
out
up.
Right, dude.
playing his song and then you come out and play like that. That
Yeah, you
is
play
not
like
what
that?
Coolio
Lose
was
by
about,
freaking
man.
30.
Yeah.
Jesus.
God.
Yeah.
Damn
It's
it,
funny
A-Rod.
too. The video, they're walking out. A-Rod's the only one singing along with the song. Everybody
Bro,
looks like
he's
they.
the only one who knows it.
Everybody looks like they just woke up walking out of that locker
Yeah,
room, dude.
Dude,
It was
before we get to our final two plays, Sauce Gardner commented on who was it? T. Higgins' post One of T. Higgins posts about
is
like,
hilarious.
and he was like, good shit, or whatever, bro. Like, because Higgins was posting like one of his catches or something, and a Jets fan's like, tell him to come to the Jets, bro. And he's like, I will not be telling him that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even Jets players are
You're
just
like,
done
no,
with this.
don't
team.
even come here.
They're like,
Yeah.
no, don't.
Bad idea.
We
You
already
might
got too
Bengals
many.
need some DBs. You want to come over here?
Right.
Tell
Right.
them to come to
Exactly.
Make a
Cincinnati.
trade.
like Sauce. He wants out there too.
You know who gets a shout out for the number 2 play? First touchdown of the year. Saves a record. Trey McBride. It was one of our bets on the weekend. Trey McBride, anytime
98.
touchdown.
It took
Even
98 receptions.
Thank you,
That's
Trey McBride.
definitely. I think it's still the record for most receptions without a touchdown.
Yeah.
But he's not going to end the year. With
He's not
zero.
going to 0.
I wanted him to get at least
Good job,
over
Trey
100 receptions and
McBride.
then get a touchdown.
Yeah, I was.
That
with
would
you,
have
man.
been cool.
Yeah, well, if he just had a couple more before this touchdown, he would have.
A little later in the game, he
little
got hit
later
in the
game.
face mask with one of them, and then he
Seen
lost
that.
the game.
Yeah. And Trey McBride, here's his touchdown, only touchdown of the season.
Murray for his man. And the long national nightmare is over for Trey McBride. Touchdown.
Been an angle with the LA Rams defense for whatever reason going back, like even the Aaron Donald years. Tight ends is the one position that has beat this team pretty good. You know,
Yeah.
if
you
you
think about
blind bet up until last year, it was Action Network. I was listening to a podcast. It was last season, the previous 19 games, the tight end has caught a touchdown in every single one of those games. And the guy who, when the Packers played the LA Rams this year in LA, the guy who beat him, Tucker Kraft.
He had like a 70-yard touchdown or something.
He
like
had
that.
2 50-yard touchdown catches. One was on that screen, and one was on that busted play across the middle.
Right, where he was just running,
Running
like,
free, like
butt
nobody was
naked.
right.
Nobody was even near him.
But top play of the day, of the year, shout out Saquon Barkley, 2,000 yards, man. What an accomplishment!
Well, it's not like he's going to rush for 2,000 yards or something.
Jeez, man.
Does
the Giants
exactly
are
You,
idiots.
Joe Schoen, pack your bags.
Yeah, dude.
You're gone. Get ready to learn.
Yeah.
Get ready to learn Canadian.
Get
buddy.
it. Yeah, you're out of here, Joe Shane. Giants are idiots. Philly is smart.
Start learning Turkish at this point, man.
Yeah. Congrats, Saquon Barkley. You get the top play. I mean, this is probably his 5th time this year where he's had the top play. Of the
Oh,
week.
yeah.
The
So,
Saskatchewan.
I mean, how you're
Rough
the
Riders.
MVP
He's
until
a
the
new
final whistle.
GM.
We're gonna have to make an award and just post it online where it's like the Military Broadcast Radio NFL MVP
Yeah.
award.
We'll
just
give
make
out
our own,
MVP.
dude.
I
Just
like
make
that.
our own.
Because we're
this
going to do
is-
our own award show.
We
Yep.
should do our
Yep.
own award show and just like rip off AB and have our own, and then just like we each introduce and like walk up to the camera and mic
I mean,
and just do it.
that would be pretty sick.
I think it
honestly.
would. We need to
Little
talk about it
podium in the
after the show,
studio.
maybe for
That'd
the
be
win,
fun.
maybe for the postseason. Saquon Barkley, 2,000 yards. You get the top play. Shout out.
Next week, if they decide to play him against the Giants, hurdles his way into the secondary here. Saquon Barkley crosses the 25, 2,003 yards, season high 31 carries for him today. And they're going to take a timeout here just to allow Barkley to get his due from this crowd.
And they're shouting it MVP there. I
Yeah.
agree. You know,
Saquon deserves MVP for sure.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more with you. I mean, I think it should be him, man.
I don't disagree.
Him or Burrow. But
You
I'm
take
leaning
those
more-
players away.
Yeah.
I mean, like think about how many games though the Eagles won and like where they just got behind Saquon on that O line. They just said, guys, we're going to give the ball. I mean, like that game, Tanner McKee has to come in and it's a cakewalk for him because Saquon Barkley is just gashing. I mean, you know what you're going to call. They know what you're going to call.
Right.
They know it's a handoff to him.
And
Can't stop
can't
it.
Stop it.
Just can't stop it.
That's my favorite part of football, man. Like when that happens, it's like, oh yeah, dude. Like kick back, crack a beer. It's gonna be a long day for you.
Like that Rams game, super close, super close, gritty game. Eagles and Rams. Saquon scores 2 touchdowns in a minute, and it's over. That's
Right,
the
dude.
the game.
I mean,
Like,
and, like
go
how many
home.
times has he done? I think he leads the league in like touchdowns over 50 yards. He's got like
Could be
5 of those, 5 or 6 of them.
Who'd he do that reverse split leg street?
That was the
fighter?
Jags.
Was it that?
That was the
against the
Jags.
Jags, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I couldn't remember. I was like, if he did that against a good team, it's like, how is he not, dude? Like, what are we talking about?
Even if it's against the Jags, like still,
57 million people watch that play.
It's easily the most viewed highlight.
He's the MVP
of the
NFL season, maybe of.
If you gave Saquon
decade.
half MVP and Joe Burrow half MVP, like co-MVP, I wouldn't argue it.
That's cool with me. I'll take that.
We could.
That's honestly nice.
I mean, they have done co-MVPs.
They've done
before.
co-MVPs.
Yeah,
with,
we should
with
do it
with Peyton Manning.
Yep.
It was like Peyton Manning and LaDainian Tomlinson. I think were the last two
when he
co-MVPs.
broke the rushing touchdown record.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, if he,
I think we should do. I'm all for it, man.
Let's make
35 touchdowns.
Dude, I mean,
rewrite
Saquon
some
Barkley.
history.
I think he's
If
giving
he breaks
you
the record.
your most
Give him co-MVP.
your most viral clip since the Odell Beckham catch.
Right.
That's. I mean,
Right.
I don't think another play has gone as viral since OBJ's catch until Saquon.
Saquon did that, yeah.
That's just
A spin
insanity.
move to split leg reverse hurdle. Full speed, 6'3", 240.
The only thing I can
No
think
big
of that
deal.
might have even come close is the Jefferson one-handed catch on like 4th and 30 or whatever against Buffalo. But even still,
That was insane.
He had a
we've-
sick catch against Green Bay. that
Saquon
didn't count.
literally just invented a new move. We've never seen anybody ever do that before.
Not even close.
Not even anything near that.
We barely see players hurdle people
Yeah.
running right at somebody and can't get it done. He not only hurdles somebody clean and lands on his feet, but he does it in a reverse 360.
No look. Dude, it looked like he
No
was,
look.
it looked like he was dunking on the guy that didn't see him
Didn't
coming.
see him coming.
He's like this up in the air, like whoop, what?
That was he caught
and the players' reaction that are like, look at you just see that big guy get off the bench and he's just like, what did I just watch right now?
Unreal.
It's insane. He
Shout
catches
out
a pass
Saquon
in
Barkley,
the
man.
flat.
That's our
And everybody's always been like, oh, this is a guy, you get him on a good, and I'm like, oh, well, we got to see. He doesn't play for a good team, so it doesn't really fucking matter. You know what I mean? Oh, those people are right. Put him on field. Decent offensive line, decent quarterback. Gee golly willikers. I don't know.
Eagles. Let them go break 101 yards against the Giants.
I
He can
think
do
it might
that.
be
He
Eagles
can do that
NFC
by
Championship,
halftime.
man.
He can do that by halftime.
Could be Eagles NFC Championship, man.
I like it. I
Who did the
definitely
Eagles
do.
have last week? Giants, Packers, Bears. Some meaningless games. Who did the Broncos have last week? Okay,
Kansas
Kansas
City.
Who do you have, Caveman, for
The Bucks.
The Bucks.
So
That's
we're
a
pretty
loss.
much the deciding factor on who wins the division.
Right, because
So
the
they're
Falcons
fucking
got to beat the
randomly keep
Panthers,
them,
and then they need the Saints to beat the Bucks because the Falcon.
happen.
Yeah.
So
if we
kind of a
randomly
meaningful
squeak a
game there.
win, there's no way.
Yeah.
All right, it is actually after 1:30. We're gonna
Oh,
have
it
to
is?
sign off
Dang.
the air.
Went by quick, man.
Yeah,
does.
great conversations today as always, guys.
Good
Thank
show.
you to everyone that tuned in and watched us today. We'll
wish
be
you a
back on
happy New
Wednesday.
Year.
Happy New Year. We'll be there New Year's Day. Give you a breakdown on some other things in sports and preview some of those college football bowl games that day. So stay with us, folks, and we'll see you guys in 2025.
See you Tuesday or Wednesday.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.